Martinsville, short track racing. Is it about patience and points, or is it about rivals and revenge? It's time to solve the Martinsville mystery. Buckle up, Virginia. The Winston Cup Series is in town. TNT Sports presents the NASCAR Winston Cup Series from the Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia. Today, it's the Old Dominion 500 presented by Stacker 2. The NASCAR Winston Cup Series has been racing at Martinsville since 1949. This thin and trim half-mile track has welcomed the most famous names to victory lane. Today, it is the site of the 6th and final short track race of the 2001 season. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Weber, and welcome to Martinsville on a Monday. It is a cool but dry and sunny day here in Virginia. The temperature will be in the mid-60s. Now, just because we're competing on a Monday, don't think that takes any of the mission or the mystery out of racing here at Martinsville. 43 cars on this half-mile track resemble the mall parking lot the Friday morning after Thanksgiving, and everybody wants the same spot right by the front door, and they're willing to do just about anything to get it. Clearly in the spotlight today is point leader Jeff Gordon. The two obstacles between Gordon and his 4th Winston Cup championship, perhaps this race at Martinsville and next Sunday at Talladega. Why? Because the style of racing at those two tracks can really dictate what happens to you. Your best day can become your worst nightmare just because someone else made a big mistake. Now, the pre-race ceremonies.
I'd like to now ask you to please stand for our invocation and the singing of our national anthem. For the invocation today, a member of our Martinsville Speedway 500 committee, L.D. Oaks.
Let us pray. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful race day. We ask for a safe race for our drivers, for our crews, and all our fans. And Lord, we ask a special prayer to continue to be with the families that lost their loved ones due to the terrorists. And Lord, be with our armed services as they try to defend our country. These things we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Now please remain standing for our national anthem sung by Lori Beth Hogan.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now to give the command to start the race, our Grand Marshal today,
Gentlemen, start your engines!
On the half mile at Martinsville. It's about temper. It's about traffic. Now, here are two guys that brought enough clothes for a rain out, and one guy that did not. Alan Bestwick, Benny Parsons, and Wally Dallenbach.
That would be me. Before the cars roll off, let's get you a driver's eye view of this tight little track with Benny's Thunder Motion.
Thunder Motion is powered by EA Sports NASCAR Thunder 2002.
Look at the side of his car before
He's already wrecked. I tell you what, hey, I've already got a tire mark. We'll see lots of those today. And I think I'm going to be Rusty Wallace today. Look who's right in front of me. And folks, this is not the groove. You want to be on the bottom of the racetrack because the outside group has a very difficult time going. But sometimes you can go up and sometimes you get these guys. And as you come off the corner, you get a good run. And boom, guess what? And we will see lots of that today. But the point is to get to the very bottom of the racetrack. EA Sports NASCAR Thunder 2002 is now available in stores.
One lap around the track, he hit everything with the pace car. Man. Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR, presents the Bud Pole Award to the fastest qualifier at each NASCAR Winston Cup race. Todd Bodine set fast time for the third time this season, the first in his career at Martinsville. Since 1979, Anheuser-Busch has awarded more than $7 million as part of NASCAR's Pole Award program. And now, the Walmart starting grid for today's Old Dominion 500. Todd Bodine with Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the front row. Jr., one of the hottest drivers on the circuit. Top 4 finishes, 3 of the last 4 races. It's Jeff Gordon, a 3-time Martinsville winner and the championship leader inside of row 2, with Dale Jarrett, the most recent Martinsville winner.
On the inside of row 3 is Johnny Benson. Only one top 10 finish in 11 races here. Ricky Craven on the outside. Back in row 4 on the inside, Joe Nemechek. And on the outside, Tony Stewart won here last year from the pole.
6-time Martinsville winner Rusty Wallace goes from row 5 along with Dave Blaney and Bill Davis's Dodge. The 6th row, Ward Burton from nearby South Boston, Virginia, and Mike Wallace, who gave that 12 car a great run at Charlotte last week.
On the inside of row 7, Mark Martin. His most recent victory was here in Martinsville. Jerry Nadeau on the outside. Back in row 8 on the inside, Robert Presley and Bobby Hamilton on the outside, the 1998 Martinsville winner.
9th row, Ron Hornaday, who's been struggling to finish races lately, and Rich Bickle, a Martinsville specialist, if you will, jumps into the 4 car this week. Ricky Rudd, second in points, a 3-time Martinsville winner. He's got to come from the 10th row, along with Ken Schrader.
On the inside of row 11, Bill Elliott, 14th in the spring. That was his best short track result of 2001. Matt Kenseth on the outside. On the inside of row 12, Hermie Sadler, his second race of the season, and Jeff Burton, 3rd place, the last 2 Martinsville.
Burton will have to go to the back of the field. He's in a backup car. Dave Marcus will go to the tail of the field as well. Dick Trickle qualified that car on Friday. Last week's winner, Sterling Marlin, with him in row 13. It's John Andretti, former Martinsville winner, back in row 14, along with Robbie Gordon.
In row 15 on the inside is Hut Strickland and Kevin LePage back in the 7 car this week. In row 16 on the inside, Terry Labonte. And on the outside, his brother, last year's champion, Bobby Labonte.
17th row, Buckshot Jones and Michael Waltrip. A lot of folks thought Mikey had a fast car in final practice. The 18th row, the rain worked out his way. Kevin Harvick back behind the wheel of the 29 car with Brett Bodine in the 18th row.
Also another driver from Memphis yesterday, Kenny Wallace on the inside of 19. Jimmy Spencer, last week's pole winner, back in 38. And on the inside of row 20, Elliott Sadler and Kurt Busch on the outside.
Final 3 starters in the field are Casey Atwood, Jason Leffler, and Stacy Compton. And again, Harvick, Marcus, Kenny Wallace, and Jeff Burton will all drop to the end of the field on these pace laps because of backup cars or different drivers qualifying their machines. 3 who failed to qualify: Kyle Petty, Frank Kimmel, and Carl Long. Heartbreaker for Long. He actually tied for 36th on time. He was lower in points. He lost the tiebreaker. Final stories from pit road. Let's go to Dave Burns.
Alan, pole sitter Todd Bodine knows that his first 2 poles this year ended poorly. This team has to race today and prove that they can finish as well as start well. Now, one guy who's learning how to race here at Martinsville is Dale Earnhardt Jr. His first 2 starts here, he finished 26 and 36. Must have been wondering how his dad won here 6 times. But this spring, he finished 11th. He's learning patience here at Martinsville and could be a threat today. Matt?
Dave, Mother Nature's Sunday showers played right into the hands of rookie Kevin Harvick, who was only 196 points out of 3rd, and Kenny Wallace. Both drivers were stuck in Memphis campaigning their Busch Series cars. Both are back today. Wallace will keep his 37th starting position, but Harvick went to drop all the way to the back after Rick Mass qualified his mount. Today, they will have to plow hard and plow fast on this tight half mile to get to the front. To Marty Snyder.
Well, Matt, we have seen 3 first-time winners in 2001. There's a good chance we could see number 4 today. Johnny Benson's crew chief, James Ince, will tell you they've already got the race won. Benson hates Martinsville, but with a very fast car, he could very well love this place by the end of the day. This is week number 2 for Mike Wallace in the 12 car. Impressive at Charlotte, impressive here on practice and Saturday. And Bill, many people say he has not only the fastest car, but also the most consistent.
Marty, 2 veterans to watch today, 2 former Martinsville winners. Dale Jarrett, who won here in April, trying to recover from injuries and from some disappointing finishes. Then there's Mark Martin. He hasn't won since he won here at Martinsville in April of last year, 55 races ago. Alan?
Giving them a couple extra pace laps, Bill, to warm the tires, and also these cars that sat around all day yesterday in the rain.
Yeah, they're probably getting their brakes up to temperature a little bit, and also get some rubber on the track a little bit.
The gear and transmissions, the fluids they use in these cars are 90 weight, very, very thick. So it takes a few laps to get that oil flowing again, and that's what NASCAR is trying to do primarily would be gears and transmission. As Wally said, get a little bit of rubber on this racetrack.
Let's talk about the start here in Martinsville. One of the things that the drivers are told by their crew chiefs on these final pace laps is, look, you got to keep the nose on the car.
Yeah, you'll see a big accordion effect going into turn 1 and turn 3 on the first few laps. So guys are going to have to be really careful. In the middle to the back of the pack, it's worse. This track is very slippery the first few laps. It's just like Loud, New Hampshire. It's hard to get any grip in these cars until you get a lot of temperature in the tires and the pressure's built up, BP.
And one reason they want to keep the noses on the car, it's very important that you get air to cool the brakes at this racetrack. All those air ducts are on the front nose. You go in there, hit somebody, and bend up those ductwork and not be able to cool the brakes, your history.
A final thought before they go green. Watch turn 4. See that hunk of concrete that's brand new right there? They dug a pedestrian tunnel under the racetrack, much needed for access in and out of the infield. But the difference in that surface compared to what's around it, some of the drivers saying they're having trouble keeping the car under control when they roll across it. 500 laps ahead on the tight Martinsville half mile. We are set to go racing a Monday matinee. Glad you're with us here on TNT. Green flag is up. Here's Gordon looking to the inside of Todd Bodine as they come around to complete lap 1.
Dale Jr. was very leery of that outside line, and luckily was able to get to the inside in 3rd position.
Todd Bodine leads. Jeff Gordon is 2nd. Earnhardt Jr. racing Ricky Craven side by side for 3rd as they come to the stripe to start lap 3. Silent lap 3 salute that began as a tribute to the great Dale Earnhardt, and we've expanded to all of America's lost friends and heroes. Tony Stewart racing for 5th.
Is that Mike Wallace already up in 6th position? Started back in 12th.
Now you want to talk about a guy that's got it all going his way, right? He's been told already he's out of his ride for next year. Gets the call from Roger Penske to jump in this car. Goes off and has a great run at Charlotte. Then he shows up here in Martinsville on Thursday to play in a charity golf tournament, one of those best ball scrambles, and he gets paired with the Virginia State Amateur champion and wins the tournament going away.
He told me this morning he's going to win the golf tournament on Thursday and hopefully the race on Monday.
Right now, Mike running 6th in line, just ahead of Johnny Benson. It's Benson in the 10. And look at Ricky Craven duck into the inside of Jeff Gordon, taking a peek for 2nd spot.
Oh, he's there, and Jeff Gordon did not want to see that. He quickly dives to the inside and gets between Craven and Earnhardt Jr.
wheel spin getting off that corner there yet. When you go through these corners, you got to really get off the throttle all the way and let the car roll just past the center of the turn. And then you try to jump in the gas. If your car's working good, you can jump in the gas really hard, and the car drives straight up off the corner.
That's 18th to 19th places you're looking at. Sterling Marlin just took a spot away from Robert Presley. Ken Schrader in the 36. Rich Bickle this week in the 4. And up ahead, Mike Wallace trying to get fifth from Tony Stewart the long way around.
Oh, he's trying to do it absolutely the hard way. That did not work too well. He said, okay, I got to come up with a better plan than that. See, the problem is...
Challenge for the lead up ahead. Craven under Todd Bodine. He's got him.
And Todd barely gets back down before Jeff Gordon could stick the nose of that 24 car in there.
First lead change of the race, 10 laps in. Trouble off turn number 2. Got a car spun around. It's Herbie Sadler. No caution yet. And we'll stay under green as he gets it spun around, and off we go. Here comes the leader up through the accident site. Everything's clean.
And we could see that Todd Bodine, the 66 car, the blue car, was holding up the 32 orange car of Ricky Craven, because Craven, once he passed him in just a couple laps, he's pulled away from him.
Behind them, when Tony Stewart's spotter jumped on the radio and said there had been a car spun off of turn 2, he backed off the gas. Mike Wallace slipped around him by staying in the gas in front of him. So you see Wallace now ahead of Stewart. And let's go back and take a look at what happened to Herbie Sadler off turn 2.
Hard to tell from that angle if he lost it, or the 18 car Bobby Labonte may have got into him a little bit, but hard to tell from that shot.
Either way, it would be no surprise, right?
Yeah.
Easy for the thing to wheel spin away from you off the corner, and easy to get bumped from behind. This is 9th place. Nadeau left of screen. Bobby Hamilton right of screen. You look ahead from Joe Nemechek.
And I tell you, folks, that 55 car, the blue car, Square D car, Bobby Hamilton really gets around this racetrack well.
And this is a brand new car they built just for this race. BP took it and tested it last week as we look down on Martinsville Speedway from our U.S. Army Skycam, an Army of one.
All right, battle for second spot is Jeff Gordon. Gets on the inside of Todd Bodine, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. wants to get there to be able to follow it through.
Bodine in position to lose a number of spots if he can't get back in that inside lane, Dave.
And Alan, a lot of times people hear us talk about cars being good for the long run. Todd Bodine's crew knows they need to race better than they have this year. They put a brand new setup on the rear as far as shock absorbers go that they've never tried before. They've tried it on the teammate car, but never on this car. Larry Carter, the crew chief, told me they want to try to win races, and this setup, rear shocks, brand new, is meant to make the car good over the long run. So he may lose a few spots early. He hopes he doesn't give them up later on.
Just underway here in Martinsville in the Old Dominion 500, presented by Stacker 2. Ricky Craven, second leader of the day.
Hey, Bobby, look who's here. Elliot, what are you doing?
Well, boys, driving in the Winston Cup Series, you got to be looking good, you know, for the press and everything.
The press?
You know, for the winner's circle.
Yeah, right.
Jeff. Hey, Jeff, I'm open for an interview anytime.
Yeah, thanks. Hot shot.
Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. Working out may not be for everyone, but looking good is.
The Do Crew.
Hey, guys.
1.5. Not bad.
You better not do this on Sunday.
The Dew Crew. Fueled by Mountain Dew.
Never once did your car ask you for jewelry or flowers. Never once did it ask you if it looked fat. Or did it get mad at you for leaving the seat up? Your car always gives you exactly what you want. Doesn't it deserve something special in return?
Okay, good news. That broadband thing we all want? Got it figured out. Honey, you call the phone company. Tracy, you're digging the trench, shovels in the garage. I'm going up on the roof to assess the satellite possibilities. Jimmy, check out these schematics. Appreciate it. Let's go!
We know how you feel, and that's why Circuit City offers one-stop high-speed internet access. You can find what's available where, compare options, and arrange installation. Circuit City, we're with you.
Oh, we can get broadband at Circuit City.
The NASCAR Old Dominion 500, presented by Stacker 2, is brought to you by Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. Burn fat, crush cravings, and supercharge your energy. By the Dew Crew, fueled by Dew. By Pep Boys, all you need to know is where to go. Pep Boys. And by Wendy's. Race through Wendy's late night pickup window where you can eat great, even late.
Ricky Craven is the leader of the Old Dominion 500 presented by Stacker 2. He's moved out on the second place driver by 1.1 seconds. That runner-up position has just changed hands. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has gone into it.
Jeff Gordon. Ever see Jr.? And we see the Junior's pulled away from Jeff Gordon a little bit. See Hermie Sadler there in the 13 car. Has been lapped after his early spin.
Minute ago off turn number 2, Tony Stewart and Todd Bodine exchanged some sheet metal while Stewart was trying to take a position from Todd. Let's go take a look at it.
Well, Tony thought he had a run. He gets in that left rear, and then he gets in the left rear again, and finally, okay, all right, I'm not hitting again.
And a lap later, when they went down to turn 3, Todd just went up in the outside lane and said, "You want it so bad? Take it." Which he has.
He has, and he's left them.
So Stewart running in 4th. Ahead of Bodine, Mike Wallace, who's in 6th now. Dale Jarrett in 7th, and maybe the fastest car on the racetrack, that one right there, Bobby Hamilton, up to 8th. I'm just going to say started 16th, Ben.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I don't know whether to say great minds think alike or not there. You might disagree with me.
Jerry Nadeau also moving forward in the 25 car, right behind Bobby Hamilton. Nadeau, remember, slapped the wall in the last practice session, but they were able to use the same car, just had to change some of the suspension parts.
You know, Hamilton, it doesn't seem to matter what car he's in here at Martinsville. He usually runs well, just kind of seems to know the secret of this place.
The guy who rides, floats around the top 10, takes care of his stuff, got a lot of brake left at the end, and can make a very hard charge because, you know, you drive this place with such discipline, you back off early, and you actually run a couple tenths slower, but you save a lot of race cars. In the last 20 laps of the race, if you got brake slap, you can run 2 tenths quicker than a lot of people, and I think that's where it's at.
And there's nobody in the world that saves their brakes here in Martinsville like Bobby Hamilton. As a matter of fact, we put a brake camera on his car.
Wow.
And this is saving brakes. We see that rotor turn red, but you see down the straightaway, the air duct's coming in, and the glow goes away just when he gets on the brakes as he enters the corner.
They're running laps around 21 and a half seconds around here. Out of that 21 seconds, they're probably on the brake pedal for a third of it.
Probably a third of it. Now let's go to Joe Nemechek. I don't know how hard that Nemechek is on brakes. We'll go to the 33 car. He's back in traffic, and we'll see his brake rotor.
They're a little bit brighter red,
It looks like a little bit brighter. And again, down the straightaway, they do not cool off like Hamilton's.
Yeah.
You see him in the corner, just how red they are. Now, as he comes off the corner, talking about Nemechek, they continue to be red the entire way.
That's going to make a big, big difference towards the end of this race, for sure. Another thing is, if you've got your car working really good, you'll use less brake here. But if your car is not working so good, you'll use a little bit of brake to help steer the car through the corner. So, obviously, Bobby Hamilton's got that 55 car handling where he wants it right now.
And the big number, while we're looking at that brake glow like that, is the one in the top left of the screen, lap 38 of 500. We've got to last all day.
And we can see the tire deflection in the corner. Watch the bottom of the tire as he goes in the corner. How the very bottom of the tire, he's on the straightaway now, but when he gets to the corner, you'll see just how much that the sidewall flexes on that car, tries to roll under the car. And that's why these cars have to put that negative camber that we always talk about, is because of the tread trying to roll on. As a matter of fact, let's show you how this braking systems work on this car and how they try to cool them off. As we go inside our virtual garage, large, big rotors just inches its way and keeps
laps. Craven went out in front after that, and we've got trouble off turn 4.
Looks like Hermie Sadler might have gone for another spin cycle. Yep. He did not hit the lottery today, did he?
2 spins, no caution. Will he get the hat trick? The way the day's starting?
He might.
He might. Let's check down on pit road. Here's Bill Weber.
Well, let's take you through the field here and start with the leader, Ricky Craven, who has had a sensational start to this race with 49 laps already on the board. Ricky Craven loves New Hampshire International Speedway. Some people think Martinsville is just a miniature New Hampshire International Speedway. Strong start for Craven, a lot of encouragement from his crew. Ricky Craven leading early here at Martinsville. Dave?
Jeff Gordon running second is trying to add to his 3 wins. Martinsville, I got the thumbs up from crew chief Robbie Loomis. Everything is okay with Jeff right now. Third place, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Not a word from Dale so far. Spotter Ty Norris up above, encouraging him all day long, saying, good job, driver, good job. Trying to keep him in it for 500 laps. Bill Weber?
Well, Dale Earnhardt Jr. currently third. Of course, he has those 4 NASCAR Winston Cup wins. This is not always his favorite style of racing, but he just moves forward here, battling back and forth with Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart has told his crew chief, Greg Zipadelli, I don't want to know. Lap times so far, it's working well for Tony. Dave?
Make an adjustment on the 66 car.
That were just in front of the leader. Kenny Wallace, Stacy Compton, Hud Strickland, Elliott Sadler, and here they come.
Bacon and cheddar.
Hey, Dave, why don't you stay out a few more laps?
Okay.
Where's that sandwich?
Cheryl, I hope no one ate my lunch. When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
Never once did your car ask you for flowers. Never once did it ask you if it looks fat. Or did it get mad at you for leaving the seat up? Doesn't it deserve something special in return?
We are classic car nuts.
We love these cars, and we spend hours and hours talking about them.
When this car needs tires, I take it to Walmart
because they really do handle it with care. I stand there right outside the bay and watch.
Everything one stop. You've got it right here.
They have name brands. They have great prices.
I need some carburetor cleaner. I like Michelin's on this car. Personally, I'm a Goodyear man.
Brand name tires, oil changes, and more at Walmart Tire and Lube Express.
Our wives really wonder who we're married to, these cars or them.
Log on now to NASCAR.com and check out the Conseco NASCAR Fantasy Challenge. Pick your own team of drivers and see how you match up against other fantasy teams. Log on today and you might just win a replica of the number 14 Conseco Winston Cup Pontiac. Pit strategy played out big. Matt Kenseth and Stacy Compton stay on the track. Another 8 teams get 2 tires. Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Ward Burton, Mike Wallace, Bobby Labonte, Johnny Benson. Wow.
Watch how tight this is. Tony Stewart took 2 tires. Bobby Hamilton's sitting in there. Look at a tire carrier. I mean, there was no room in between Tony Stewart and Bobby Hamilton. That was close.
And obviously Mike Wallace in the 12 car also changed 2 tires. Back to green flag we go.
Matt Kenseth was 18th. He takes the lead by not stopping. Bobby Hamilton was 7th by taking 4 tires. He's back in 18th.
I don't know if you saw that shot, Benny. See how the rubber's already sticking to that concrete? You're getting more and more of that on the racetrack. And when you're driving over that, especially late in the race, it's very slick on there. It really moves the car around. It's like running over gravel.
See Ward Burton, 22, trying to go by the 44.
Buckshot, one of the drivers, a lap down in that 44 car. You've got Casey Atwood, Buckshot, Dave Marcus, and Hermie Sadler, who are the lap down cars. Ward Burton running in 7th right now, Dave.
And they were one of the teams that took on 2 tires only, Alan. They made a slight air pressure adjustment to try to help Ward. He had reported that his car was so tight in the middle of the corner that he practically had to stop to get the car to turn.
Well, he easily gets by the 44 car. Now Junior tries to do the same thing. He clears him going down in turn 1.
Scott Bodine next in line in the 66, and then Bobby Labonte in that 18 car, who also got just 2 tires on his stop. Spin over in turn 2. Rich Bickle. So far, no caution. Now the caution comes out. He has not been able to get it fired as the leaders come around.
You may have got a little help on that one.
You think?
I think so. I'm going to go out on a limb.
So Matt Kenseth leads the field to the yellow. How about the call for Kenseth and Stacy Compton to not take tires on that last caution?
Not a bad plan. Not a bad plan at all. Let's see if we can see what might have happened to Rich Bickle. There he is on the, and there's the Robbie Gordon, the 31 car, and we see the 9 of Elliott get in the back of Kevin LePage. And again, how much damage did it do to the nose of Bill Elliott's car? Another shot.
Wow. Well, Robbie pushed in the, he got down in that corner. That car pushed pretty hard up the racetrack. At the same time, Ford was coming down.
Under caution here in Martinsville, Rich Bickle, the spinner in turn 2.
Pep Boys just rolled back tire prices. 70,000-mile touring tires rolled back to 4 from $159.96. SUV tires rolled back to start at just 4 for $199.96. For huge tire savings, roll on over to Pep Boys.
A beer is only as good as the ingredients used to brew it. That's why Budweiser uses only the finest all-natural ingredients, hand-selected to deliver a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you won't find in any other beer at any price.
This Bud's for you. It's you and you and you. This Bud's for you.
Pep Boys just rolled back tire prices. 70,000-mile touring tires rolled back to 4 from $159.96. Raised white letter performance tires rolled back to 4 from $199. So for huge tire savings, roll on over to Pep Boys.
Everywhere we go, people seem to love Team Kelly.
We love Team Kelly racing.
They've got the drive, they've got the experience.
Team Kelly needs a lot of work.
How is it that you have the worst luck on the circuit?
Go Kelly! Go Kelly!
Denny needs to step out of the way and let Trish drive.
You racing Saturday night? You know, I think this week Team Kelly's going to do it.
Cut!
Yeah, like that'll happen.
Someday, they just might win. The Kellys. Exclusively on NASCAR.com. America Online keyword NASCAR.
You know every story, every wound. You'll learn.
From the network that knows drama. See Oscar winners Julia Roberts and Susan Sarandon in Stepmom. Sunday at 5:30 on TNT. We know drama.
Half a lap from the green. Here is our Wendy's race menu. It's from the smallest track on the circuit to the biggest. Next week, Talladega, Sunday on NBC. It's going to be great.
And then we go to Phoenix on NBC, and here we go, back to green flag.
Matt Kenseth, the leader. Stacy Compton second. Jeff Gordon third. They are marked by our TNT race chase bubbles. The lap cars to the inside are Casey Atwood and Buckshot Jones. They're 38th and 39th place.
And you see a lot of beating and banging here at Martinsville today. You will not see any beating and banging next week, but you will see a lot of passing next week at Talladega.
So the front three clear the lap traffic fairly quickly, and Tony Stewart, the fourth place driver, does as well.
And there's Mike Wallace once again trying to pass Tony Stewart on the outside. Come on, Mike, that's not going to work. You know that.
I think that's the best time to try.
Uh-oh.
Jerry Nadeau. Caution.
Now, Jerry.
What I was going to say.
Back up, back up.
Oh, don't back up now, because here they come.
Better get going. Oh, this is big.
Go, go, go. He's waiting on you. He's waiting on you. Go.
No, he ain't.
Rodney Combs, the spotter.
I was going to say, if you're going to pass somebody on the outside, probably the best time to do it.
Okay, well, we'll get
on fresh tires.
Third caution of the race. Let's go back and check what happened to Robert Presley on an earlier yellow. Marty?
Well, and a lot of damage to Robert Presley's car. What happened, Robert?
Well, I think we just found out we broke a hub on the right front. Went off in 3 there in the car, just didn't want to get stopped up. Come down into 1 there, and I had a brake, and then all of a sudden went to the floor and just had to shove it up in the 3rd gear and spun it around. But I tell you, we had a great race car there today. They're sitting there biding their time and pulling away from them guys behind us, and just trouble again.
And Robert was told by this team he will not be back here next year. Not a good way to start auditioning for a job. We'll be back with more from Martinsville on TNT in just a moment.
Drama is teaming up China's best detective with LA's worst.
Which one of y'all kicked me?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I don't want no partner. I don't need no partner. And I ain't gonna never have no partner.
We can hang in my crib. I will show you my hood.
What the hell did you just say?
Hands above your head!
Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker, Rush Hour, October 26th at 8 on TNT.
Never touch a black man's radio, boy!
What a great day at the races. There's Ricky Rudd, and heading for victory lane is Dale Jarrett.
Hey, Dale, how about helping me ship that bloomin' onion back home?
Ricky, keep your hands off my bloomin' onion.
Wait a minute now.
There's nothing like a day at the races.
Do you have your autographs?
Sure.
And nothing tops it off like a big bloomin' onion and a thick, juicy steak.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Too fast for you, Ricky.
Outback Steakhouse, NASCAR's bloomin' favorite.
During the Napa Championship parts sale, a purchase of $40 or more at participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care Centers will get you a limited edition Napa Soft Grip football absolutely free. So there's no better time and no better place anywhere to get quality parts for your car or truck.
Go, baby!
The limited edition Napa Soft Grip football. No penalty for excessive celebration. Come in now and save big on Napa oil, just 89 cents a quart.
Third caution of the race here in Martinsville happened because...
Here's that accordion we were talking about. Car slowed up in front. Sterling just couldn't get it slowed down quite enough. Got it back at Jerry Nadeau. The bad part is he couldn't get out of there, and he couldn't get it in gear quick enough, and he lost a lap.
And that was battling for 12th position. Now Nadeau was trying to get to the inside, get up next to the leader to get that lap back. And Casey Atwood, the 44 car, Buckshot wouldn't let him go by. He runs Buckshot up on the curb, so off turn 2, Buckshot says, hey, Nadeau, don't be doing that. So Nadeau decides one thing, I'm going to stop and get 4 tires.
Of course,
I think Buckshot's down.
Yeah, Buckshot's down a lap, and Casey is too, so they were trying to get their lap back.
Right.
So They didn't have to let him by.
So there's no love.
Let's go down to pit road, Dave Burns.
Well, Jerry Nadeau has been on and off pit road now. They put some fuel in the car. They repaired a little bit of damage. Remember, he's already been in the wall once this weekend in final practice. Had a little scrape with the wall, didn't bend the car too much. But during this pit stop, he also had to stay down for a penalty. The crew's still figuring it out. I believe it was because he lined up and came into the pits incorrectly. I don't think he had too many men. I don't think he was speeding. So that's Nadeau's story for now.
Yeah, you're not allowed to pull up the pit. Hey, Dave, what happened to Johnny Benson on the last caution? He gave up 14th spot and came down the pit lane.
Yep, he sure did, Alan. He actually made 2 pit stops on the last 2 yellows. The first time, they made a wedge adjustment and unhooked the rear sway bar. They said it had no grip in, no grip off. The car was just totally out of control. Then they came in asking Benson, did that help at all? He said he thinks maybe it's just a touch tight. So they made a track bar adjustment and filled the car full of fuel.
Okay. He's already back. He's way back in 33rd place because of that added time on pit road. Here's our NASCAR Busch Series update. What a race yesterday in Memphis. Hope you caught it. Randy LaJoie scores the win when Jeff Green and Jay Sauter tangled, racing for the lead in the final laps. LaJoie went under them both and got the victory. Busch Series championship. 4 races to go. Kevin Harvick adding a little ground to his total advantage. Craftsman Truck Series raced in Las Vegas yesterday. Ted Musgrave, the winner. Jack Sprague adding a little ground to his advantage in their championship with just a couple of races to go. Wow. Who's he hit? Bill, what happened?
Well, Rusty Wallace told his crew he hit the 25, but he definitely hit somebody. They're concerned about the effects it'll have on the handling.
I don't think it'll affect the handling all that much unless he knocked the toe out, but it could affect the way those brakes are cooled and the way that water temperature is going to be. That's right. Up today.
His water temperature was 190, and Robin told him he thinks they'll be okay, but we'll keep an eye on that, Wally.
Okay. All right, Bill, thanks. Matt Kenseth is your leader. Jeff Gordon is second. Stacy Compton third. Mike Wallace fourth. And Tony Stewart is fifth. Rusty is back in 13th.
And a battle for the lead is Jeff Gordon. That 24 car has 2 fresher tires. On his pit stop, he changed 2 of the 17 car. After 81 laps, has not been in the pit on the pit road.
That's a good strategy, I think, on the 17 car. The problem is you don't want to get caught in that high line, like he's going to be caught right now. Now he's going to lose a lot of positions unless he can get that thing back down to the bottom of the racetrack.
And here we come Mike Wallace on the outside, trying to take over. He takes over the 3rd spot, going for 2nd on the outside.
Well, he's just loving that high lane, isn't he? Matt Yoakum.
Alan, this is a strategy that Robbie Rogers and the crew chief for Matt Kenseth worked here in the spring race. They ended up finishing 6th. They could have had a shot to win, except for some things that took place late in the race, but they're going with that same strategy. And I asked Robbie, I said, did you guys try this? He goes, no, we wouldn't do that. But also the spotter for Mike Wallace is warning his driver, remember that 92 and 17 stayed out. You have 2 fresher tires, so you should be able to get by them after a few laps.
Right now, Matt getting kind of knocked around. He's lost the lead to Jeff Gordon. Let's go back and look at that a minute ago. Gordon roughed him up a little bit. Maybe not intentionally, but he did.
Got a good run off of 4. Here they go down into turn 1. And that's what new tires get you to do. It lets you drive in the corner deeper. And Matt couldn't get in there as deep as 24 car, so uh-oh.
That's John Andretti in the 43 and Jason Leffler in the 01.
And Andretti looks like he's going to get his car. Come on, Jeff, back off. Jeff, let it go. Attaboy, Jeff.
Caution's out.
Nice man. In a situation like that, you know, after the guy spun up the corner, don't you think he should have let him his lap back? What do you think, Wally?
No. I should. Well, yeah.
You're an evil man.
You know, 43, John's won here. He runs this place good. You got to worry about a guy like John Andretti coming back and beating your butt by the time this race is over.
Let me tell you what, I've ridden in a car with Wally to the airport. He's as ruthless on the highway as he is on the racetrack. We'll come back.
Hey, Bobby, look who's here.
Elliot, what are you doing?
Well, boys, driving in the Winston Cup Series, you got to be looking good, you know, for the press and everything.
The press?
You know, for the winner's circle.
Yeah, right.
Jeff. Hey, Jeff, I'm open for an interview anytime.
Yeah, thanks.
Hot shot.
Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. Working out may not be for everyone, but looking good is.
So, Mrs. Petty, you called Kyle to track and said, let's have dinner for two.
Dinner for two? Dinner for crew?
They're closed. Ma'am, were you on a cell phone?
Yes, I was. Patty,
I warned you about the static. That explains everything. Here, Sprint PCS built the only all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network, so your calls will be clear.
thank you. What about them?
I'm thinking drive-through.
2,500 minutes for $39.99 from Sprint PCS.
What can you do at vhix.com in 30 seconds or less? And you didn't even break a sweat. vhix.com, roadmap to the automotive world.
This month, AT&T Broadband delivers the movies you want on in-demand pay-per-view. Hannibal. Enemy at the Gates. Chocolat. The Mexican. No! All this month on in-demand pay-per-view from AT&T Broadband.
Here we got a bunch of guys going down the corner here. Watch the 71 car. He gets down low and he hits that curb. When you hit the curb, it throws you back up the racetrack. And here at Martinsville, there's going to be somebody there, and that's what happened.
Another angle, we see the 71 of Marcus there. He hits that left rear, and around goes the 43. The 99 Bird gets in the back of the 14, and we're racing.
Jeff Gordon, the leader, with his teammate Jerry Nadeau trying to get a lap back, and Mike Wallace going 3 deep for the lead.
Oh, this is going to be big. Oh, yeah, this is big.
Oh.
And Wallace takes the lead.
How about Mike Wallace? Matt Yoakum.
Under the caution, they made an offer to the 24 team that if they would let the 12 car go by and lead just 2 laps today, just one to pick up 5 bonus points, and the very last, they would let him lead all the laps he needed because they realized the 24 is running for a championship. Dave?
Matt, the 24 had a response for that, and that was, of course, well, Jeff said, well, why don't we just get away a little bit, and then we'll worry about giving you that lap, and then we'll let you have it back again. But they didn't do that. They went 3 wide with his teammate, who had also asked about getting his lap back, and I understand that the 12 was going for the lead. It's a little confusing out there when you go 3 wide at Martinsville.
And look at this. I mean, Mike Wallace is, I mean, he's pulling away from the 24 car, and the 99 car all of a sudden seems to be off the pace. Marty, what's going on with Jeff Burton?
Well, he had involved in that last wreck, of course, Benny. They came down pit road. They wanted to change 4 tires on that stop in 2 separate stops, but they were only able to change left side tires. They did fix the left front fender damage that Jeff Burton had. The car is very good today, but now they got to work their way back up through the field once again. Remember, they started at the back of the pack at the beginning of the day.
And started at the back of the pack trying to catch up to the field on this restart. So
I wouldn't count Jeff out. He will work his way up through there as long as these guys don't catch him first.
Yeah. Jeff Burton back in 35th place, last car on the lead lap. Mike Wallace leading at Martinsville for the first time in his Winston Cup career. Fifth different driver to be out in front today. Gordon second, Stewart third, Craven fourth. That's Craven in the 32, and he's trying to hold off Ward Burton and deal with the lap car of Jerry Nadeau. Farther behind them, Ricky Rudd, second in the championship coming in. Meyer back in 15th place, while Jeff Gordon is running second.
See Bobby Hamilton in that heavy traffic, the 55 car, as he gets on the inside of the 92.
Hamilton lost a lot of track position on that stop. The first set of pit stops where everybody took 2 tires, but he sure hasn't made up any ground. Now, granted, we've kind of been a little halting with some choppy caution flags since then, but he hasn't made up a lot of ground. There's our Williams race chase in the interval from Ricky Rudd up to the leader, Mike Wallace. Matt?
And there has been some reports of possible smoke out of the back of Ricky Rudd's car as Cruchy Fatback and Sway. Fatback What's the smoke out of the back of the car?
Sometimes under cautions, when the cars get really boxed up, they don't run. We have to say caution block goes. Cars get a little warm and they leak a little water out in the overflow system. So then when they start backing, it'll puke it out. Nothing really to worry about.
No concerns at this moment for the guys that are trying to chase down Jeff Gordon for that championship, Alan.
All right, Matt, thanks. Championship standings, 7 races to go, including today. And there's the gap now, if they finish as they are, with Gordon running second and Rudd back in 13th. It's 2:37 coming into the race. And that's a lot of ground Ricky Rudd cannot give up.
The 28 car, Ricky Rudd's car, ran so doggone well here in the spring. Looked like he was going to win. But then just in the last few laps, his teammate, Dale Jarrett, was able to get on the inside of him, take their spot away, finish second to his teammate.
Bobby Hamilton. Got Rusty Wallace in 12th, Rudd in 13th, Hamilton in 14th there. 2:28 and 55 cars.
Rusty Wallace looks out the back bumper. Looking out the back bumper, I should say, of Rusty Wallace's car at Ricky Rudd.
Getting tight up front. Jeff Gordon closing back in on Mike Wallace.
And Mike Wallace's car, after about the last time, after about this amount of laps since the pit stop, his car started getting loose, losing the back end off the corner. And we see that same thing is happening again.
Clear, all clear.
He let him go there.
Yeah. Smart move, because, you know, if he let him go real quick and got back in line and didn't lose that much.
So Jeff Gordon back out in front. The Old Dominion 500 presented by Stacker 2. You're watching NASCAR on TNT.
What's drama?
Bumper-to-bumper traffic at 190 miles an hour.
Drama is letting the car do the talking.
Cutting loose 43 cars in the flick of 5 reels.
Drama is the roar of the crowd.
27 guys with 1 goal.
14 seconds pit stop.
Drama is trying to beat your teammate when he's the champ.
Drama is growing up in the shadow of greatness.
Drama is being original.
Drama is winning your first race, finally. Drama is NASCAR on TNT.
You take as much care with the customer's car as you do with your wife's. You call each customer to make sure they're satisfied with the work. And your waiting room has coffee people actually like. So it comes as no surprise that the auto parts you recommend and install are AC Delco. When the right way is the only way. AC Delco Automotive Parts.
For a chance to win a trip to France in our Drive to Victory sweepstakes, enter at participating service centers or visit acdelco.com.
Conseco, NASCAR's official financial services provider.
Your heart pounds. The engines roar. It's adrenaline on wheels. April 14th, Martinsville Speedway hosts the Virginia 500. We give new meaning to the term contact sports. Get your tickets now for your very own adrenaline rush.
Jeff Gordon leading the Old Dominion 500 presented by Stacker 2, the Monday matinee from Martinsville Speedway in Virginia after rain yesterday. We saw Gordon take the lead from Mike Wallace moments ago. Since that time, Wallace has really gotten shuffled back. Tony Stewart's up to second, Craven to third, Ward Burton to fourth, and there's Mike Wallace way back in fifth.
And there comes another Wallace. That would be Rusty Wallace on the inside of the 40 car. That's a battle back to the 11th position. And Ricky Rudd, the 28, will try to follow. Oh, he's going to try to, this is the Coors Light car he's trying to pass.
That's 12th place.
You see the 17 car having some trouble getting by Buckshot Jones. The 17 out there on those worn tires, and the lap car Buckshot Jones presented a problem for him.
Bobby Labonte's been picking up some spots in this most recent run of the race. Marty Snyder has an update on him for us.
Running ninth now, Alan. The car before this run was loose. And remember, on the last pit stop, they came in and changed 2 tires. Recently on the radio, Bobby told his crew chief, Jimmy Makar, 2 tires actually helped the car out. It's running a little bit better right now. To tell you how precious these Winston Cup points are, about 2 months ago, Bobby Labonte was 10th in the point standings. And over a 10-race period, they worked their way up to 6th in the points. He finished 36th at Dover and fell all the way down to 9th in the point standings where they sit now.
Bill Elliott's in trouble. On pit road under the green flag, lap 116. And the crew does not appear to be in a significant hurry.
Now, when they go to the hood pins, when they pull in the pits, the jack, you got a chance. When they go to the hood pins, that always looks bad.
His hood is bent down the top there. See, he got in the back of somebody right at the top of the hood there. It's bent over.
Remember, he got in the back of when the 4-car wrecked down in turn 1. Right. Elliott ran the back of someone.
Yep, the big traffic jam there. Matt, what's going on?
Well, he's been complaining about an overheating problem earlier, and then Bill reported in the water had climbed to 260. They told us to go ahead and bring it in. Right now they're looking under the hood to see what they can do to try to get this 9-car out with a tough break for Bill Elliott.
See, look at all this damage right here. And the thing is, when you get in the back of these other cars, you think, well, those bumpers are fiberglass, but right behind those rear bumpers are the bars that separate the fiberglass from the back of the car. Yeah, see the water's coming out? He probably has a hole in there, and one of those bars from a bumper that he got into probably punctured the radiator.
That's right. Now, finally, they put some water in there, so now they're able to get the water out of the hole. All the water is gone.
Mike Wallace still sliding back. The outside lane that worked so good for him a little while. Oh, look at this.
He and Junior and Jarrett now. Now, Jarrett's on the inside of Junior. Yeah, he backs off.
Oh, clear.
Matt Yoakum, what's going on?
An update on the 9-car. They feel like they are done for the day. They've got water coming out the tailpipes, and there's a hole in the radiator. They're pushing the 9-car behind the wall.
Now the 88 car, we see some damage on the nose of his car. Very similar to what Bill Elliott had.
Bill all pushed in there on Jarrett's Ford.
Some of those bars in the back of those bumpers, BP, they actually come to a point. It's like a V. And if you hit somebody's bumper hard enough, that's like a spear going through your radiator.
What we know right now for sure is that Mike Wallace wants a caution.
Oh, yeah.
Really badly.
What's up with 20? Tony Stewart. What's up, Marty?
Well, when he went by me, Benny, it sounded like he was on 7 cylinders. We'll have to check in his pit to make sure, but it sounds like
he's on no cylinders now.
Oh, yeah, it's gone.
It's shut off. He's got no cylinders.
Caution's out. Tony Stewart, 3rd place in points to the garage.
What'd you say about Mike Wallace leading the caution flag?
He got it. Tony Stewart, the defending winner of this race, is in the garage. And the caution flag is out. This one is the 5th one of the event, and it's at the 1/4 point, lap 125.
Okay, here they come. All the leaders heading for pit road. Mike Wallace is saying, thank goodness.
Now, remember, last time, a lot of guys got 2 tires. The running order really shuffled up a lot. What's it going to be this time? Bill Weber.
Ricky Craven coming down pit road right behind Jeff Gordon. Said, I'll follow Gordon. That'll protect his pit road speed. Again, easy in and should be a more easy exit now with the 20 car having its problems. 4 tires for Craven. We go to Dave.
Well,
this time Jeff Gordon will ask for 4 tires. No adjustments on the 24 car, but they definitely want 4 this time. They'll spend a little bit longer on pit road than they did the first time when they only took on 2. He tries to get back out and make the lead. Marty, I think he's got it.
And Bobby Labonte came down pit road running 7th, 8th. Guys don't look too happy with their stop. 4 tires, no adjustments for the Interstate Batteries car.
Gordon leads off pit road. Craven is second. Mark Martin and Kurt Busch come out 3rd and 4th. We will follow up. I believe they did not get 4 tires there, either one of them. And we'll take a break. Under caution after Tony Stewart falls out of the Old Dominion 500.
The Kellys. Exclusively on NASCAR.com. America Online keyword NASCAR.
Hey, what you doing?
Playing solitaire.
I can take a hint.
Any chance you get?
I chipped a nail.
Try to hang on. I'll go for help.
Any way you can.
Wouldn't you love to go to Europe?
Yep.
Get to McDonald's now and try some of the unexpected new tastes on McDonald's new taste menu.
Honey, do we have a...
Trombone? No, I'll go buy one.
Unexpected new tastes at your favorite place, now on McDonald's new taste menu.
As you know, unprecedented tragedies have occurred in Washington, D.C., New York City, and Pennsylvania. Our entire country is now facing a long road to recovery. The American Red Cross is providing life-saving assistance, emotional support, and blood to those in need. You can help too. Please, call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE to schedule a blood donation, or call 1-800-HELP-NOW to offer your financial support for this and other disasters. Together, we can save a life.
Just how much can you tap into with an AT&T broadband connection? Try over 100 channels of entertainment. All the phone lines a house could want. And oh yeah, internet that flows by the gallon. Hope you're thirsty.
Next weekend, it's on to the world's fastest speedway, Talladega, starting on Friday with Bud Pole qualifying at 4 Eastern on CNN Sports Illustrated. Final practice comes up on Saturday from Talladega at 1 Eastern as part of a doubleheader, in which we will also bring you the ARCA 300-miler. That on TNT next Saturday. Then 1 week from yesterday, actually, the EA Sports 500 presented by Dodge. Winston Cup racing at Talladega. That's all you need to know. It means excitement. 12:30 Eastern Time on NBC next Sunday. Great look at just how tight this tough old racetrack is.
Looks like a big paper clip.
Maybe the smallest track on the circuit. It might be the most difficult for a driver to master.
It's very hard, very hard.
2 tire stops for Mark Martin and Kurt Busch. No stop for Elliott Sadler and Kevin LePage. 21 car of Sadler's the leader. LePage is second in the 7th, then Jeff Gordon 3rd. Ricky Craven 4th. Mark Martin 5th. After Martin, you've got Ward Burton, Kurt Busch, Todd Bodine, Dale Jarrett, and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Elliott Sadler, the 21 car, was able to clear himself with Casey Atwood quickly. Here comes the 7 car trying to do the same thing. And Jerry Nadeau, that 25, is going to get up there and try his best to get his lap back from Elliott Sadler. Remember, the 25 car spun 40, 50 laps ago and lost a lap before he could get his car going again.
Yeah, and he actually is 2 laps down, Benny, so he needs to get a couple times up past the leader.
Well, Jerry, you got a lot of work to do.
Boy, he does. But can be done. What was it? Last year, Rusty Wallace had an unscheduled pit stop, got a couple of laps down, made them both up, and was working his way back through the field and ran out of laps.
Yep. And there he goes.
Elliott Sadler from Virginia. This would be considered his home tracks. South Hill and Emporia, the area where he lives, straight across Highway 58 east of Martinsville.
But that car is based just about 25 miles from here in Stewart, Virginia, home of the Wood brothers.
And for being their home track, It's a place they've never had a lot of success because for many years they ran a very limited schedule and didn't compete on the short tracks. Look at this. Mark Martin in 5th, Ward Burton in 6th. The lap car of Casey Atwood, and then Kurt Busch, who started back in 37th. 2-tire stop has gotten him up there. Talking about Elliott Sadler and this being his home track, same thing for Ward Burton. He's from South Boston, Virginia, not even an hour's drive from here. And he says when you come to a short track like Martinsville, as a driver, you have to have kind of a special mindset.
My mentality is I try to race each and every guy the same way that I would like to be raced. At the same time, knowing the atmosphere we're in, none of us are perfect, but, you know, give and take, get to the end of the race, then we'll see who's got the best car and who's got the best team to put that car in a situation to run away.
That's perfect. I mean, that's now most of these guys, when you go out and race, it's exactly what Ward said. You want to be raced like you'll race the guy. The guy's going to rough you up, going to race you dirty. Well, that's easy. You can do the same thing.
That's why I won't go on a go-kart track with you.
Oh, come on. You on a go-kart track because you'd have to wear a helmet, and that would mess your hair up.
I'd have to have a helmet, and I'd have to be strapped in if you're behind me.
Now, Mr. Mathematician, how far can the 21 go on fuel? Well, he's got to stop.
If you give me a second to look over at my pit chart, and I'll find out the last time he came in, I can tell you.
And we can see that Jeff Gordon back there, the 24, trying to work on the 44, Buckshot Jones and Ricky Craven. A terrific run today for that tide rod of Ricky Craven.
All right, Elliott stopped at lap 87.
Okay, so he can run another 100 laps with ease.
Yeah.
About 100.
I don't know if he'd want to.
He probably would want to, but he could, yeah.
Yeah.
Here these cars back off, almost stop in the corner. RPMs goes down to somewhere under 5,000 RPMs right in the middle of the corner. Oh, that was close. And Ricky Craven's going to try it on the outside. That really doesn't work too well here, but
unless you can box the guy in.
Yeah, unless you can get him boxed in behind a slower car.
Outside, clear, all clear.
Jeff said, am I really going to have to go out there and let Craven get on the inside on me?
Jeff Gordon running 3rd. His title rival, Ricky Rudd, is back in 10th place. So Rudd has closed a little ground here in this last segment of the race. The leader's Elliott Sadler, 6th different driver to pace the Old Dominion 500.
The American way of life is energy in motion. Energy powers our lives and fuels the technologies that make America go. Williams is proud to help deliver that energy through more miles of pipeline than the interstate highway system, including 1/5 of the nation's natural gas. At Williams, our way of life is leading energy solutions.
Hey, guys. $9.5. Not bad. You better not do this on Sunday.
The Dew Crew. Fueled by Mountain Dew.
The NASCAR Old Dominion 500, presented by Stacker 2, is brought to you by Williams, leading energy solutions, by Conseco, Step Up, by McDonald's, we'd love to see you smile, and by AC Delco Automotive Parts, when the right way is the only way.
Beautiful day here in Martinsville today, and Elliott Sadler is enjoying the most of it right now. He's out in front in the Wood Brothers Ford by a second and a half on Kevin LePage as we come to lap 150. Tony Stewart went out of the race a short while ago, or we think went out of the race. Bill, what's the story there?
Well, they continue to work under the hood on the engine compartment. Mark Conquest, the head engine builder from Joe Gibbs Racing, says it could be a rod or a valve spring. They're looking under there trying to make sure. Tony has climbed into the transporter, is inside the truck at this point. Hey, first of all, I want to point out that he didn't say it dropped one cylinder. He said it felt like he lost 4 cylinders all at once, and then it just lost power altogether. So they sit back here trying to work on it. Interesting note, because of the new pedestrian tunnel here, Alan, Greg Zipadelli told his crew over the radio, if this car does not go back out, we can get out of this track. We will go to the shop and work on the Atlanta car. Tough break for Tony. Third in points coming in.
All right, Bill, thanks. And Brett Bodine has just taken his car off the track and behind the wall. He was coasting very slowly out onto the pit road.
And a lot of these teams,
we got trouble.
Hermie Sadler is in the middle of it in that 13 car. No caution. Everybody gets going.
And he still hasn't hit the lottery. Talking about Hermie Sadler.
But he hasn't hit anything either. He's been involved in 3 spins that nobody's hit anything.
Well, but he's going to try to get hit
there. Keep doing that.
Let's go back and check out what happened to cause the big jam up over in turn 2.
Well, he got hit that time by Stacy Compton in the 92 car. And then Compton got hit by the 5 car. And Jason Leffler just trying to dodge it all. Battle for the third position. Mark Martin on the inside of Kevin LePage.
And the update from pit road on Brett Bodine, who I mentioned went behind the wall. Brake troubles.
A very common problem at Martinsville Speedway.
So Mark Martin goes to 4th place now. Ward Burton is in 5th in the 22, and Kevin LePage in the 7, shuffled back to 6th. And remember that LePage did not stop on that last caution. Mark Martin getting just 2 tires on his stop, but he's hanging right in there. If you're a crew chief,
which I'm not.
Yeah, and we're very happy for that, by the way. But if you're a crew chief, the way that the tires on the cars are these days, life used to be simple. Caution came out, you came down pit road, put 4 tires on it every time. Now, boy, have you got some big decisions to make every time the yellow waves.
These guys really have to earn their money. Look at the damage on the 92 car when Terry Labonte ran in the back of him just a moment ago. That was Labonte that hit him, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Stacy back in 30th place, but he's on the lead lap.
I don't think that'll come off unless he gets rubbed by somebody. Actually, it might help him if he rubbed. The piece off the back may blow off, but the sheet metal looks like it's far enough from the tire for any problems.
Boy, this is something Elliott Sadler did not want to see. Jeff Gordon, there he goes. Elliott waved to him, say, bye, Jeff.
Fresh tires. Ricky Craven now closing in on Sadler for 2nd. And Bobby Hamilton trying to get moving once again. This is back for 14th place. We've got cameras mounted up looking at the brakes on Bobby Hamilton and Joe Nemechek's cars. We saw them earlier, 55 and 33.
Let's go inside. This is Bobby Hamilton. We see going down the corner, he hits the brakes, the rotor turns cherry red.
Boy, they look good.
And down the straightaway, almost goes back to their natural color. As he applies the brakes, they get red.
About 110 laps since we looked at him last.
Yeah, he's got great brakes left right now.
But now right behind him is his teammate, Joe Nemechek, in the 33 car. Bill Foote's Holmes car. We're still, now let's go inside Joe and see how his brakes are doing. Here he comes down the straightaway. And we see the rotor doesn't quite go back to their natural shade. Let's babies are hot. About 1,000 degrees, 1,100 degrees. And the brake technology has gotten so good today, these guys don't really realize how much they're using the brake until they melt this tire where it mounts against the wheel. That's called melting the bead. We saw that at Richmond on about 3 occasions.
Nemechek running in 16th place, Hamilton in 13th. It's all behind Jeff Gordon, who's out in front of the Old Dominion 500 presented by Stacker 2. 164 of 500 complete here in Martinsville.
You go fishing every weekend, right? And you never catch a thing.
It's not enough.
Ottoman! What is going on?
Armoire! Furniture. Why is there furniture? Chafing dish. Chafing dish.
I thought I told you to strap everything down.
Coffee table.
Morning commute. On the wings of Goodyear.
A squad is a unit that's together, so you're only as good as the slowest person in your squad.
It's not about me anymore. We need to get through this together. Everybody gets the same training. It doesn't matter if you're going active or reserve.
Log on. Watch me become we.
Let's go!
Only at GoArmy.com.
This month, AT&T Broadband delivers the movies you want on in-demand pay-per-view. Hannibal. Enemy at the Gates. Chocolat. The Mexican. No! All this month on in-demand pay-per-view from AT&T Broadband.
It happens about once a week. Someone comes into Premier Jewelers with a diamond they bought somewhere else, wanting to know if they got a good deal. With a sad sigh, we show them what the same diamond would have cost with us, and then they understand. They could have gotten much more diamond for the same money if they had only shopped at Premier Jewelers first. Please, we'd much rather prove our better prices to you before you buy anywhere else. Proven better prices every day. We are Battle Creek's Premier Jewelers.
30th race of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series season is the Old Dominion 500 presented by Stacker 2. The picturesque Martinsville Speedway in South Central Virginia. About what, BP? 3/4 full today.
At least. I can't believe there's a lot of Martinsville flu going on today. Meanwhile, pit stops are going on.
Under caution after Rich Bickle had a problem in turn 4 a moment ago. Most of the leaders choosing to stay out, but some are in. Matt?
Mike Wallace bumped a loose tire from the 6 as they will make a right side tire change only, and they were discussing pulling a rubber out of the right rear to try to help fix his loose race car. Today Burns.
The 8 car is running pretty well, Matt. Junior has asked for no changes except possibly a slight air pressure adjustment to fix a little tight condition. 4 tires for him, no damage repair. Just a quick look at the left rear there. We hope they got all the lug nuts tight.
Most of the front runners chose not to pit. Jeff Gordon stays out and retains the lead. And we continue under the caution here in Martinsville. Back after this.
The drama of NASCAR is on TNT. NASCAR returns to Talladega. At almost 3 miles long, speed and the battle for late season points make Talladega the king of super speedways. Watch Gordon, Jarrett, and Rudd make a dash for the checkered flag. It all starts live on Saturday with ARCA Series Racing on TNT. And on Sunday, the Winston Cup and the EA Sports 500 live from Talladega on NBC. The race for the 2001 NASCAR Championship is on TNT and NBC.
Hey, Bobby, look who's here. Elliot, what are you doing?
Well, boys, driving in the Winston Cup Series, you gotta be looking good, you know, for the press and everything.
The press?
You know, for the winner's circle.
Yeah, right.
Jeff. Hey, Jeff, I'm open for an interview anytime.
Yeah, thanks. Hot shot.
Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. Working out may not be for everyone, but looking good is.
I'll tell you what, on race day, you better get it right.
You want a hands-on boss.
Yeah.
He Terry Labonte.
Terry Labonte.
Check the transmission and the drive shaft.
He's involved in every detail.
Right.
Absolutely.
Hey, if that makes me a perfectionist, 1 more pound.
So what?
There's a fingerprint on the windshield.
Got it.
Hey, I'm here to win. Blue. The nose needs to be bluer.
Blue's good. Yeah, Blue's great.
Very good. Trucks. Fundamentally tougher than any panty-waist car. Hey, no one ever wrote a song about his first hatchback. At Craftsman, we figured the only thing better than trucks is racing trucks. So we're the official tools of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Tough trucks, tougher drivers, and the toughest tools. Craftsman.
Working caution here at Martinsville in the Old Dominion 500, presented by Stacker 2. Rich Bickle had a problem up in turn 4, came to rest up against the outside wall. He has driven back around to the pits and returned to the track after repairs.
Speaking of Rich Bickle, let me say hello to the Lonnie Hill family. He's the engine tuner, catch can man on the 4-car. Had some lung surgery today in Kingsport, Tennessee. Hope everything is well.
We were talking about when you get in the back of somebody. If you watch when he's coming out of the corner, there's a bar right here. Can't, see if we can get
that truck got in the way there.
What's that truck doing?
Trying to pick up stuff on the racetrack.
Anyway, behind the bumper, you'll see a big pipe. See that pipe right there? That's what winds up going in your radiator when you bump into somebody in front of you. That's more likely what happened to Rusty Wallace. Dave, you got something else up down there in the A-car?
I think they're going to show the pit stop of the A-car this last time, Wally, because during this pit stop, when they went to the left rear tire changer Steve Wolf had to go back in and hit the left rear final lug nut. There are 5 on there. He got 4. I said, did you go back in just because you were not sure? He said, no, I was sure I didn't hit the 5th one. He went back in a second time.
Yeah, and I was told that all you have to do is get that 5th one on hand tight for it to be legal. So he got it on.
Green flag.
And Ricky Craven just tries to buffalo the 44 car of Buckshot Jones to align and have that inside groove down in turn 1. And it worked.
On that caution flag, Mark Martin, Dale Jr., Mike Wallace, Ron Hornaday, Jeff Burton, Matt Kenseth, Dave Blaney, Hutch Strickland, Elliott Sadler, Kurt Busch, Stacy Compton, Terry Labonte, Kevin LePage, Kenny Wallace, and Michael Waltrip were the lead lap cars that pitted. They restart. The farthest up of them, Martin in 18th place. Everybody else stayed out.
But the 25 car got one of his laps back. He's still 1 down, but Jerry Nadeau in that 25 has a very fast race car.
Todd Bodine hanging in there. He's in 4th place. 66 car.
Back inside.
And trying to get 3rd from Ward Burton.
Still there.
What was the report we got on Todd's car earlier? Tried a new chassis setup. Wasn't going to be good in the early, but hoping it would be good later as the race went on. Dave, looks like track conditions are coming to him.
And I just checked with Larry Carter a few minutes ago. He's the crew chief for Todd Bodine. I said, do you like those rear shocks? He gave me a big thumbs up.
Battle for the lead. Craven, the 32 car, goes on the inside of Jeff Gordon and takes it away. Jeff trying to take it back. He's got position going in 3.
Boy, that 32 car looked awfully strong getting off the top of that racetrack off of 4 BP.
Yes, he did.
Careful.
And Craven maintains that lead. Looking good, Bill.
Especially early in the runs, Benny, on new tires and on restarts after caution laps. Ricky says his car is good and better than the 24 for about 20 laps. Now, they did make a chassis adjustment during their last pit stop, and they want to drop the air pressure all the way around next time. So as good as that car is, they think they can make it better, and they want it to be good at the end of a long run. Strong early, trying to make it better later in the runs.
I tell you you what, that 25 car of Jerry Nadeau is just blindingly fast as he comes up and passes his teammate, Jeff Gordon. I mean, I realize that Jeff did put up a lot of resistance, but he still is very, very fast. Nadeau, if he hadn't got these couple laps back, had a real chance to win this thing.
Well, you never know. He might just before the day's over, Benny. But the last time they came in and changed 4 tires, I checked with them. They made no adjustment, and that's always a good sign.
Driving in anger will do that for you. Yeah, it'll make you real fast.
But it does do those brakes a lot of good. That's right.
Nadeau right now showing in 33rd place. He's the first car 1 lap down. And he's closing in on leader Ricky Craven. Second time today Craven has led. Kevin Harvick. Yesterday over in Memphis, trying to defend his hold on the NASCAR Busch Series championship lead, and as you see by the scoring serial, has moved up nicely since starting at the back of the pack today. Marty?
Yeah, Alan, they're doing pretty good, and you have to take it in the context of remembering what Kevin Harvick did here in the spring, which was not very good. He finished 35th in that race, and they felt like they didn't really have a good setup to base what Kevin wanted to start this race on, so they kind of took a little bit of what Kevin had here in the spring and a little bit of what Rick Mast found in happy hour on Saturday, and that's the setup they started the race with. It's pretty good right now, tight, needs a little more forward bite off the corner, but who doesn't need that here at Martinsville? And Kevin's pretty happy. He's made some nice progress as you set up to 14.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. running in 19th now. One of the guys who pitted on that last caution, kind of mired back in the traffic.
Oh, there'll be some contact if we aren't careful between the 31 of Robbie Gordon and the 8. But somehow they...
They're not running with the front of the class anymore.
Ty Norris, the spotter, with the social comment there.
What did he say?
He said, you're not running...
Sorry, left.
He said, you're not running with the front of the class anymore. I think that was a be careful warning. Marty?
Yeah, Robbie Gordon spent a lot of time this week testing at Greenville Pickens with Rick Mast, and Rick really helped Robbie work on getting those long runs down, trying to help him learn how to run in a place like a Martinsville. I talked to Richard Childress this morning about the status of Robbie Gordon for this year and next year. Nothing is firm for next year yet, but he said he expects to know something within the next week. I asked him, will he be in the car for the rest of this year? He said every week except Homestead. Jeff Green will be in the car at Homestead because Robbie Gordon will be running the Baja 1000. A little bit different than Martinsville.
Greenville Pickens Speedway is a flat half-mile NASCAR local track, one of the tracks where they run regular Saturday night races that a lot of teams use to test at for short tracks because it's not a Winston Cup Speedway and it doesn't count against your limited number of tests that NASCAR gives you per season. Ricky Craven is the leader, coming up on 200 laps of 500 here in Martinsville.
Look, this is a dirty fuel injector. This is a clean one. As you can see, cleaner works better. That's why I use STP fuel injector cleaner in my car. I add STP every time I change my oil. STP, it's basic car maintenance.
Pep Boys just rolled back tire prices. 70,000-mile touring tires rolled back to 4 from $159.96. SUV tires rolled back to start at just 4 for $199.96. For huge tire savings, roll on over to Pep Boys.
A typical car insurance agent is on the job during regular business hours. On the other hand, Geico insurance professionals are on the job 24 hours a day. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Oh, I didn't want mail.
You don't have to sacrifice service to save money. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Your heart pounds. The engines roar. It's adrenaline on wheels. April 14th, Martinsville Speedway hosts the Virginia 500. We give new meaning to the term contact sports. Get your tickets now for your very own adrenaline rush.
You know every story, every wound. You'll learn.
From the network that knows drama, See Oscar winners Julia Roberts and Susan Sarandon in Stepmom. Sunday at 5:30 on TNT. We know drama.
What it is.
Came back to finish you off.
Feel better?
Yeah, I do. Buckshot Jones in the 44 getting a lap back from leader Ricky Craven as we come back to Martinsville in the Old Dominion 500 presented by Stacker 2.
Terrific run by Buckshot Jones today. Meanwhile, here's Jeff Gordon, the 24, going for the lead on the inside of Ricky Craven.
Our pit report a little while ago saying Craven's car was better in the first 20 laps of the run than Gordon's.
That's right where we're at.
Yes, sir. And Gordon is back out in front.
And the 25 car, Jerry Nadeau, that we saw pass Ricky Craven to get back in the lead lap a little bit ago, has pulled in front of these guys, the lead cars, by about a straightaway.
So Gordon Craven, then Dale Jarrett, who's moved up to third, Ward Burton fourth, and Ricky Rudd, who has climbed to fifth. There's DJ. Bill, he's picking his way forward.
Boy, he's having an outstanding day despite that nose damage, Alan. I talked to crew chief Todd Parrott. He says that is not creating any handling problems or any temperature problems with the race car. He just told Dale Jarrett, real good lap, stay nice and smooth. He's actually running laps faster than the leader, 20.93 to 21.12 just a couple of laps ago.
All right, Bill, thanks. Of course, Dale Jarrett, the most recent race winner here at Martinsville Speedway back in mid-April at a track he's never said was his favorite to run. Jarrett had fresher tires than his teammate Ricky Rudd. 6 laps to go. He caught him and passed him and took the win, his first here at Martinsville. I talked to Dale the day before yesterday on Friday, and he said, you know, I won here, I qualified well here. I guess I could start liking this place a whole lot better. This is the time of the season that a lot of teams start experimenting with things for next season, but Dale says for teams that are in the heat of important point battles, there's a very delicate balance between gambling on new things that'll help you down the road and trying to protect your current position in the points.
We need to try to get better right now, not only for the end of this year and make the most of it, but to help us have a good fresh start for next year, knowing that we're not searching then. So there's a fine line there, but I think we go in every week knowing that, okay, let's try a little something different to try to help us. We need to try to win races right now, and if it'll help us win now, it'll be good at the beginning of next year, too.
Caution's out.
I thought I would never see this. Rusty Wallace spun up in 3 and 4 at Martinsville. A car tagged him on the inside as he was going back through the field, had lost 5 or 6 position. Rusty struggling at Martinsville. It's like the sun didn't come up this morning.
Back in the left rear.
That car's been real loose, too, Benny. He had radioed in just a few laps ago. The car was real loose.
And now we see the damage in the left rear with, I think maybe it was John Andretti that made, I should condemn John Andretti because I'm really not sure. All right, let's see.
Yeah, you were right, BP.
It was John Andretti. All right, John, I was right.
Standing on the gas.
He stood on the gas and tried to get the car to do the 360, and it didn't quite make it.
Leaders are on pit road. Marty?
Bobby Labonte already gone, Ellen. He has very good car, only 2 tires for Labonte to Bill Weber.
Ricky Craven and Dale Jarrett are both on pit road, separated by an opening in the wall. It's 4 tires for both sides. It's an air pressure adjustment for Craven because he was really tight, Dave.
Gordon's car starts out tight. It gets neutral, then loose. He's asked for a track bar adjustment. They made that 4 tires. Jeff leaves pit road. Matt?
A 4-tire change for Ricky Rudd. No chassis adjustments on the 28 car.
Bobby Labonte takes the lead with that 2-tire stop that Marty called for you a minute ago. Or comes off of pit road first. There are some who did not pit. Mark Martin will take the lead here at Martinsville. Look out.
Drama is teaming up China's best detective with LA's worst.
Which one of y'all kicked me?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I don't want no partner, I don't need no partner, and I ain't gonna never have no partner.
We can hang in my crib. I will show you my hood.
What the hell did you just say? Hands above your head!
Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker. Rush Hour, October 26th at 8 on TNT.
Never touch a black man's radio, boy!
So, Mrs. Petty, we called Kyle to track and said, let's have dinner for two.
Dinner for two? Dinner for crew? They're closed.
Ma'am, were you on a cell phone?
Yes, I was. Patty.
I warned you about the static. That explains everything. Here, Sprint PCS built the only all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network, so your calls will be clear.
Thank you. What about them?
I'm thinking drive-through.
2,500 minutes for $39.99 from Sprint PCS.
During the Napa Championship parts sale, a purchase of $40 or more at participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care Centers will get you a limited edition Napa Soft Grip football absolutely free. So there's no better time and no better place anywhere to get quality parts for your car or truck.
Go, baby!
The limited edition Napa Soft Grip football. No penalty for excessive celebrations. Come in now and save big on Autolite resistor spark plugs, just 59 cents.
Who'd you expect? Bob Dole?
Follow Mark Martin and the Viagra racing team this season.
Get to your doctor for a checkup and find out if a free sample of Viagra is right for you.
And for more information right now, race over to Viagra.com.
Back in Martinsville, Virginia, championship contender Ricky Rudd falls all the way back to 34th after he had to make a second unscheduled pit stop because his transmission was stuck in gear. So Frankie Good, the engine tuner, had to crawl underneath and beat it with a hammer, and they do feel like the problem is fixed, but Rudd now has a lot of cars looking out through his windshield. A lot of track position has been lost.
Wow. I wouldn't say it would be fixed because something caused it that to begin with.
Yeah. Ricky was 5th at the caution flag. 34th. And Jeff Gordon is running 13th. Now, 10 cars did not pit under this caution flag, so when we go back to green, we've got a real jumble from what the standings were before. Restart coming up in another one lap. Dave, Jerry Nadeau's back in good shape.
And you mentioned jumble, Alan. One of the things that Nadeau had a problem with was he was so far back in the queue that when he came in to get tires, he wanted 4, but the pace car was already coming out of turn 4, so he only took 2. Then he stopped a second time. He's now 33rd in the ranking.
But he's back on the lead lap.
And he's got 300 laps. I mean, he has a very, very fast race car. Talking about this 25 UAW car.
And Buckshot Jones also back on the lead lap. He beat the leader around to the caution. Buckshot's in 32nd. Nadeau's in 33rd. Marty?
Well, guys, this is Jeff Burton's chance. He's had a fast race car all day long. Here is his chance to prove it. Remember, they had the spin earlier. Now he's up in 4th.
As we go green, the bubble is on the first car that pitted. Bobby Labonte, way back in 11th place. That's the first one who made a pit stop to come back off the pit lane.
The 93 car, Dave Blaney, is in the 10th position. And Labonte 11th.
Mark Martin leads. Mike Wallace 2nd. Kurt Busch 3rd. Jeff Burton 4th. Elliott Sadler 5th. Then Hutch Strickland, Kenny Wallace, Michael Waltrip, Terry Labonte, and Dave Blaney. The top 10 who did not stop.
And Mike Wallace is trying to go for the lead. That's Mike in the 12th car, Martin in the 6th. And Mike's, well, I'll just pass him on the outside. Oh, baby!
Caught that little fresh concrete? Or just caught it wrong?
I think he just caught it wrong.
Looking down on Martinsville from our U.S. Army Skycam, there are 212 ways to be a soldier. Find out more.
All clear, all clear.
At GoArmy.com. Martin and Wallace, 6 and 12. Then the 97 of Kurt Busch and the 99 of Jeff Burton, the 4 cars you look at. 3 of them Roush Racing machines. Mike Wallace being the only exception. He drives for Roger Penske.
And all 4 of them Fords. As a matter of fact, the 5th place car, Elliott Sadler's a Ford.
But we're not going to get into all that aerodynamic stuff from the teams here at Martinsville.
It matters not.
Next week at Talladega.
That will be a topic for discussion next week.
And there were some rule changes for Talladega next week, by the way. The Fords get to take an 1.5 inches off the width of that rear spoiler that sits on the top of the trunk lid for next week. The Pontiacs get to shave 1/8 of an inch off the top of the roof rail that is used at Daytona and Talladega, and that will be the subject of much consternation in the build-up to next Sunday's race. While we're on the subject of rule changes, NASCAR yesterday announcing that they will go to the one-engine rule for next year. You must race the same engine you qualified, unless you can show a good enough reason why not. And they've also put some minimum weights on some different internal pieces of the engine, the rule designed to try and save some teams money.
Yeah, it's going to make a lot of teams happy. It's going to make guys like Robert Yates probably not very happy because he does a lot of motors. He builds motors for a lot of these teams on a lease program. So that's going to cut into the profit margin there. But I think for the expense for the teams, I think that's going to help. Don't you think?
I don't know. I've really got to talk to one owner in the garage here this morning that was very, very unhappy with the rule change and said it's going to cost more money. But there again, I haven't really, that's the only one I've talked to, and I haven't discussed it thoroughly.
I think the one area that teams seem to think it'll save them some money on is that they buy a lot of different type of pieces for a qualifying engine than they do for a race engine, and now they can just have one type of part in their inventory to build that motor from.
Yeah. Normally, if you're going to build a qualifying engine, it's going to have a lot lighter pieces inside the engine. It's going to make more horsepower, but it won't last a 500-mile race. So that's what they build. I call them hand grenades. They're good for that qualifying lap. Then pretty much after the first round of practice and qualifying, you got to put in a race motor that's more durable.
Second place, Mike Wallace and Kurt Busch racing for that one behind Mark Martin here in Martinsville, Virginia.
Look, I know Circuit City's doing this expo thing, but we're busy. Get what you need. We're out of here. Agreed?
Yes.
Kevin!
We know how you feel. It's Expo 2001. 30 days of non-stop demonstrations of what's hot and what's next in electronics. September 30th through October 31st. Circuit City, we're with you.
You have just completed the culminating training event into the United States Army. I want you to think about what it took to get here. This fire represents the soldiers who have completed basic training before you and those who are yet to come. You have what it takes to be a soldier in the greatest army of the world.
Log on and find out what it feels like. Only at GoArmy.com.
How does Jeff Burton spend his Sundays? Eyes on the track, gripping the wheel of a 700-horsepower thrill machine. So what does he look for the other days? More thrills. Because Jeff's not just a big-time driver, he's a big-time fan.
I'm Jeff Burton, and with AT&T Digital Cable, you get hundreds of great channels, including movies, sports, and specials, plus a cool interactive guide.
Call now for this great offer.
AT&T Broadband keeps you connected with programming, offers, and more. Look what we're bringing you this month.
On one stage, women will fight for a cure. For one night, women will help save lives. For one cause, women will rock. Lifetime Television rocks October with the second annual Women Rock Concert, an all-star event where today's hottest female voices come together on one stage for one cause. To stop breast cancer for life.
AT&T Broadband. We're keeping you connected.
Closing in on halfway in the Old Dominion 500 in Martinsville, Virginia. For the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, Mark Martin is the leader. Roush Racing right now has got the leaderboard dominated.
3 out of the top 4.
And Matt Kenseth did lead earlier in the race. He led 26 laps.
Now, BP, you did some investigating. They're running a lot of gear, the Roush cars.
Some of the Roush cars, I don't think all of them are, but some of them are really running a lot of gear ratio, turning the engine, what I consider excessive RPM, up around the 93, 9400 number.
But the thing about that here in Martinsville, if you can get away with it, that actually, to me, it always helps you get in the corner, because when you get out of the gas, that big gear actually helps slow the car down so you can use less brake.
Matt Yoakum's got more on that for us.
VP, I posed that very question to Jack Roush, the owner of the Roush Racing Armada here. He said, maybe. I was told 3 of his 4 race cars actually had a 650 gear, and also possibly one of his subsidiary teams that they also do engine work for also has a 650 gear. But other teams were looking at possibly running that 650, but instead went with the 633 because they felt like they needed to go a little more conservative here. Jeff Gordon wanted to try a 650 as well as John Andretti. In fact, Andretti tried it in the final practice session, but he was hitting the chip too early on the straightaway, so they went with the 633, and they just felt like they could not be that aggressive here at Martinsville.
And I can't believe that Jeff Gordon would even entertain the idea of trying to finish the race. Turn the engine that kind of RPMs, leading the NASCAR Winston Cup point standings. Kurt Busch looking on the inside of Mike Wallace for second spot, takes it away. Great run today for Kurt Busch.
And let's just mention that chip that Matt mentioned is the rev limiter. It has a little computer chip in it that, and when the engine hits a certain RPM, just kind of cuts the ignition timing. And if you were to listen to a car coming down the straightaway here in Martinsville and he hit the chip, you'd hear the engine go brrr.
Right, and all those chips have different numbers. You can put 8,000 to 9,500. Whatever you put, whatever number chip that is, when it gets to that RPM, it basically shuts the engine down.
Jeff Burton started at the back of the field in a backup car after a crash here during final practice. That 99 machine using, actually he was way behind earlier, and they've used some pit strategy to get him up into the top 5.
55 car's looking good. He's working his way up through this field on the inside of Todd Bodine.
That's 15th place.
The lane of choice here.
3rd place. I said Jeff Burton was looking good. He's looking better.
And Mike Wallace's car looks awfully loose. It's really good right from the get-go, and then that car gets loose.
Kind of a pattern we've seen from Mike throughout the day. Starts off good after a restart, then slips back. Here we go. Gordon, Jarrett, Dale Jr. This would be for 11th.
And Ricky Craven watching all this. We see the 15 car, Michael Walter, right in front of this group. Jarrett's on the inside of Junior. A battle for the 12th position.
You can see Dale Jr. is really running that car in hard. He's using a little bit more brake than, say, the 88 car is.
Michael, one of the 10 cars who did not stop on that last caution.
And while that Mark just pulled over to let his teammate Kurt Busch go by. I thought something had happened to the 6th car.
So Kurt Busch goes out in front for the first time all race. 8th different driver to lead, and we're still just shy of halfway.
One car, Kenny Wallace, just passed his brother Mike.
And what, Kenny Wallace giving this one car a very good ride today. In the 4th position now.
Kenny in Memphis yesterday for the NASCAR Busch Series race. Very delighted that it rained and pushed this one off to today.
Let's go on board with Kenny Wallace and check out some telemetry maybe. See what kind of RPM that he might be turning or miles per hour. You see that miles per hour here is not a great deal. About 112 miles per hour, the maximum down the straightaway. But RPM at Martinsville's a big number. And watch how quickly that it goes up. Just boom, just shoots up to almost 8,800 RPMs, but down to less than 5,000 in the corners.
I beg to differ. 112 mile an hour may not be a big deal for you, 200 mile an hour man, but for me, that's plenty fast, thank you.
Well, having to turn left on a very, very tight racetrack, yes, it is.
I actually saw 4,400 there, BP, the lowest he was.
Wow. And you can hear that engine just screaming as it accelerates down the straightaway.
And, you know, looking out the windshield of Kenny's car here, that yellow curving on the left, it looks innocent enough, but it's a handful.
But, boy, when you hit it, well, we saw earlier when Dave Marcus hit it, when you hit that curving, it really upsets a car. It actually throws you up the racetrack.
from halfway in the Old Dominion 500, presented by Stacker 2. You're watching NASCAR on TNT.
What's drama?
Drama is life at 190 miles an hour. Drama is being a NASCAR crew chief. 27 guys with one goal. 14-second pit stop.
Drama is being original.
Drama is living up to expectations.
Drama is growing up in the shadow of greatness.
Drama is spraying paint on the final lap. Drama, now that's going across the finish line upside down.
Drama is just finishing the race.
Drama is NASCAR on TNT.
Beer is like a natural food product. The fresher it is, the better it tastes. That's why Budweiser has 12 local breweries right here in the United States. So you know our beer will always be fresh.
This one's for you. And you and you and you. This one's for you.
We are classic car nuts.
We love these cars, and we spend hours and hours talking about them.
When this car needs tires, I take it to Walmart.
Because they really do handle it with care. I stand there right outside the bay and watch.
Everything one stop. You've got it right here.
They have name brands. They have great prices.
I need some carburetor cleaner.
I like Michelin's on this car. Personally, I'm a Goodyear man.
Brand name tires, oil changes, and more at Walmart Tire and Lube Express.
Our wives really wonder who we're married to, these cars or them.
Shocking tragedies have occurred and America is in mourning. A long period of uncertainty and recovery awaits us all. The American Red Cross is providing life-saving assistance, including precious blood, food, shelter, and grief counseling. We honor our heroic relief workers, victims, and their families. Please call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE to donate blood or 1-800-HELP-NOW to offer financial support. Together, we can save a life.
The racing pride of Las Vegas, Nevada is Kurt Busch, 23-year-old, driving for Jack Roush in that 97 car, and he leads the Old Dominion 500, presented by Stacker 2, 0.8 of a second over his teammate Mark Martin. Marty.
Kurt Busch is doing an excellent job up front, Alan, and a lot of these cars that did not stop are finding the going very easy, actually. A lot of the reason that many of these guys did not stop is because their cars were very good before. Kurt Busch's car in happy hour on Saturday, very good on the long run, very good on all tires. Ben Leslie, as crew chief, decided to leave them out this time. That's why they are in the lead. But the bigger picture is here. A lot of crew chiefs have taken note for later in the race. It seems like that drivers will lead a lot of laps here at Martinsville, but not go on to win the race. So the last stop could be very critical. Some pit strategy could be played out.
Kurt Busch's car looks awfully good. Takes the car down, keeps it right on that yellow line. Doesn't look too loose off the corner. He's still running a pretty good speed, a little over 89 mile per hour average.
Dale Jr. is really fallen back. He was 12th on the restart a little bit ago. He's just fallen to 26th place. Dave, what's going on?
Dropping very quickly, Alan. I just checked with Tony Uri, his crew chief, and asked him, is he running out that high line because he has to or because he keeps getting shuffled? And he said we put on the two right side tires, just took on two, and that made the car unable to run on the bottom part of the racetrack. And he continues to go backwards.
Huh. Wally, you said something a minute ago about the way his car was looking. He was going to be running out of brakes the way he was having to drive it.
Well, it looked like he was running the car in real deep when he was racing those cars. And you can only do that for so long here before you get the brakes too hot, and you got to just back off and let them get cooled off.
And you can see just how busy he gets inside, and he's losing another spot to Jimmy Spencer. Have you said something else, Dave?
Yeah, Benny, one more thing on the 8. They just said they thought they might have a right rear shock going bad, so apparently something in the right rear not to Dale's liking.
Okay. I just thinking after your comment there a minute ago, Wally, and him having trouble keeping the car down low, that maybe he was just having trouble getting it stopped going into the corners.
And that will happen, Alan. If you can't get the car slowed down, you use the racetrack to slow you down, so that's why you got to kind of run that high line as well. So we'll see what happens. Oh, it's pretty squirrely off the 2 there.
Yeah, he looked like he had a beehive inside with him as he was.
swatting them away with those hands on the steering wheel.
Yeah, watch it. Car's going on the inside. But he tries to get through the corner there, and he's still losing position after position as Kevin LePage gets on the inside.
Wow.
Now, right here, when he gets to the center of the car, it almost looks like it wants to rotate. It just wants to swap ends on him, right in the center of the corner.
That was the 31st place he just lost, and he's going to lose 32nd to Buckshot. Jeff Gordon on the move. Remember, he was one of the drivers who did pit on that last caution. He's marching his way forward. That was 5th place he just took from Mike Wallace. Dave?
Jeff reported it on the radio, Alan, that he was a little bit loose going into the corner. That is a condition he's been fighting all day. And I checked with his crew chief, Robbie Loomis, to see if when they put on the 2 tires the very first stop today, what that did to the car. Jeff had radioed in that that did not help that condition whatsoever, although it did help it turn a little bit in the center of the corner. So if they get down to the last part of the race, they want to put on only 2. They know what it will do, and they know what it won't do for the car.
Oh, Mike Wallace got very, very high, up in 3. He was going to lose that spot to Dale Jarrett, but he lost a lot of time. You'll see Ricky Craven on the inside of Mike Wallace. Bill, what's he saying about his car?
Well, Benny, he's not saying a whole lot. They have talked about adjustments they want to make when they come in on their next stop. But here's the thing. Remember, they made that air pressure adjustment on their last stop so they'd be better on a longer run? Well, he is hung with Gordon going all the way through the field here. So they want to make another air pressure adjustment when he comes in next time to make that even better. But right now, Ricky Craven, who is good early on the runs, is starting to look better deeper in the run.
Hey, Bill, how much have the weather conditions changed since the start of the race? It was pretty cool when we dropped the green a little after 11 Eastern time. How about now?
It was definitely cool, Alan, but the breeze isn't nearly as stout as it was earlier today, especially down in this little bowl of Martinsville. And the sun has come out. It has really heated up not only the air temperature, but certainly the track temperature. Definitely warmer than when we went green shortly after 11 this morning.
I don't know, Ben. This track it's not really that temperature sensitive, I don't think, because of the concrete. You've got the concrete in the corner. So I don't know if the temperature is really going to make that much difference, other than the cooler temperature definitely helps keep brakes on your car a little bit longer.
Dale Jr. is about to get put a lap down by Kurt Busch. So whatever's gone wrong in this segment of the race for Jr., it's getting costly in a big hurry.
So, you racing Saturday night?
The Kellys. Exclusively on NASCAR.com. America Online keyword NASCAR.
Pretty high-tech stuff, huh? These dishes send TV programs through your cable. And the latest thing, digital cable. You think you can only get lots of new channels from one of those little satellite dishes on your roof? You get all kinds of new channels right through the cable you already have. People think they need a satellite dish. They've already got lots of them.
This month, AT&T Broadband delivers the movies you want on in-demand pay-per-view. Hannibal. Enemy at the Gates. Chocolat. The Mexican. No! All this month on in-demand pay-per-view from AT&T Broadband.
Kurt Busch and Mark Martin left and right of your screen lead the Old Dominion 500 at Martinsville, Virginia. They have just put Dale Earnhardt Jr. 1 lap down, and we're just past the midway point of the race. 273 of 500 are complete. Jeff Gordon is running in 4th position. Ricky Rudd, remember, had the balky transmission on the last pit stop, had to make the extra visit to pit road, and look how far back he is. He restarted 34th. He's moved up to 19th.
A long way to go. As close as these cars are today, we can see that passing on the racetrack is very, very difficult.
28's going to be taking a look inside.
And you can see that Ricky Rudd, the 28 car,
Clear behind him.
is a little more than 11 seconds behind Jeff Gordon.
Just about a half a lap here at Martinsville. And Jeff Gordon moving up. Just got 3rd spot away from Kenny Wallace.
And we see that Kenny Wallace had gotten by the 99 car of Jeff Burton, and Dale Jarrett also going by Jeff Burton.
Bobby Hamilton there in that 55 car has been strong all race, got mired back in traffic after some pit stop shuffling, but here he's picking his way toward the front.
And Jarrett gets by the 1 car and moves into the 4th position. And here comes the 55, Hamilton. Oh, big old spin. There's Junior.
The problems have culminated.
Oh, he got it.
Hud Strickland getting a lap back from leader Kurt Busch.
Good man, Hud.
Well, we've been kind of chronicling Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s troubles.
Oh, what?
Come on, there you go. Come on.
They all got all kinds of problems over there now.
Kept from going 2 laps down. No, he didn't. Let's see. Let's wait till he gets back around here.
All right, here comes Kurt Busch. Kurt, you can't pass the pace car. Easy, Kurt.
All right, Dale Jr. kept from going 2 laps down. Leader is in. Marty.
Very good for Kurt Busch. Allen a little loose off 2. They decided to make no adjustments. They were going to make a track bar adjustment. It will be 4 tires for young Kurt Busch. To Bill Weber. To Matt Yoakum, sorry.
Mark Martin, the 2nd place runner, is already in his pit. No changes for the 6th car, just 4 tires. His car is very good. To Bill.
This will be tires and fuel for Dale Jarrett. A little loose off, but not bad. Rolling well through the corners. So a good run for DJ. Dave.
Half round down on the track bar, a continued adjustment for Jeff Gordon. He says he's just a little bit loose off the corner. They will also take on 4 tires. Trouble in front of him. The 66 of Todd Bodine gets turned by Ward Burton as Burton was exiting the pits and Bodine was coming into the pits. Now Bodine backs up into traffic. He still has not had service on his Ford. The pole sitter now trying to get it corrected as Benson squeezes through, and now Bodine will have to go all the way around and re-enter pit road.
Boy, I'll tell you, lucky that wasn't a bunch of cars getting pit stops right there when that happened.
Ward Burton leaving his pit as Todd Bodine turned into his just in front of Ward. And the contact between the 2. We'll look at it when we come back. Right now, we're under caution here at Martinsville in the Old Dominion 500.
Hey, Bobby, look who's here.
Elliot, what are you doing?
Well, boys, driving in the Winston Cup Series, you got to be looking good, you know, for the press and everything.
The press?
You know, for the winner's circle.
Yeah, right.
Jeff. Hey, Jeff, I'm open for an interview anytime.
Yeah, thanks.
Hot shot.
Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. Working out may not be for everyone, but looking good is.
The Do Crew.
Hey, guys.
.5.
Not bad. You better not do this on Sunday.
The Do Crew. Fueled by Mountain Dew.
We pitted Castrol Syntec 1030 against the leading conventional oils in some of the world's toughest tests. The 96-hour TU3 viscosity test. The M111E, designed to break down an oil into sludge. The blistering hot VWIC deposit test. Not one conventional oil could pass all these tests. Then again, there's nothing conventional about Syntec. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
South Central Virginia's Martinsville Speedway hosts today of NASCAR on TNT. The Old Dominion 500 presented by Stacker 2 playing to a great crowd for a Monday matinee.
It's unbelievable the folks that showed up today. Looks like almost everyone came back.
86,000 seats here, and I bet they've got about 3/4 of them all full. What some wild action we saw on pit road a minute ago. Let's start with the cause of the caution.
No, we talked earlier. I thought Dale Jr. was having some trouble. Right in the center, looked like his car was swapping ends. That's exactly what happened to him right there, right when he was getting back on the gas.
And right in front of Jeff Gordon. Now, pit road.
We see Jeff Gordon. We see the pole sitter, Todd Bodine, come into his pit. His crew was ready, but Ward Burton, the 22 car, was leaving as the 66 slowed down. Bam, he hit him in the left rear. Around goes Todd. He was not able to make his pit stop. Had to go all the way around and come back in. Rusty Wallace says, my goodness, what do I do now?
Green flag is up. Ward Burton is the leader. Mark Martin is second. Dale Jarrett third. Jeff Gordon fourth. And Kurt Busch falls back to fifth on the stops.
Spinning two. Dave Delaney. Looks like he might got a little help from behind.
Caution flags out. Now we're starting to get into that Martinsville typical thing.
He's got a lot more spoiler now than he did when he had a little while ago.
Cautions breed cautions is a phrase the drivers like to use. Get that field all tightened up. Sometimes it gets a little rough.
The NASCAR Old Dominion 500, presented by Stacker 2 from Martinsville, is brought to you by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. By Walmart, always low prices, always. By Chrysler, experience our cars and find out why drive equals love. And by Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. Burn fat, crush cravings, and supercharge your energy.
.287 is the lap count now. 1 lap away from the restart here in Martinsville. Here's why the yellow flag.
That 93 car goes in and it just doesn't go, it looks like. Jeff Burton, the 99 car, was ready to go and got in the back of Mr. Blaney.
Bobby Hamilton's
car. Grab a gear and go.
Shifted in third gear and away went. Matt, how much damage?
Well, Benny, pretty much just cosmetic, but you could tell from the video that spoiler was way up in the air. Doug Randolph and the guys have beat that back down, so it looks somewhat close to how it looked when they started the green today, but he certainly had a lot of cosmetic damage. Dave?
Matt, when Ward Burton came into the pits and took on 2 tires only, he beat everybody off pit road. In fact, he thought he was racing Todd Bodine off pit road. That was the miscommunication, and that's why Ward stood in the gas and didn't really take into account the 66 car slowing down. That's why he spun him around.
They have waved off the restart to pick up another piece of debris on the track. They'll get one to go when they come back next time. So we're a lap and a half away from the green.
That's hard to believe. A piece of debris on the racetrack at Martinsville.
I can't get over that. They better bring out the blowers.
This is the 9th caution flag already in the race here last September. 13 yellow flags for 88 laps.
You see this run we were talking about earlier at the top of the show. This isn't bad. It usually gets a lot worse here. And maybe when it's hotter, it sticks more to the concrete, Benny, but usually you get a lot more of this on the racetrack. When you hit that, it's like hitting gravel. How about it, Marty? What do you got?
Well, Wally, that's a great point, and a lot of drivers are actually complaining about the rubber buildup in the turns, and they're saying that they're searching for a different line. I didn't know there were very many lines here at Martinsville that you can take. Can you actually take a different line into the corners and help that out?
Well, the only thing you can do is straddle it and not try to hit it with your right front tire and your right rear tire. So that's about the only thing you can do.
Casey Atwood got a lap back coming to that last yellow. He's in 32nd place. Last one on the lead lap. Buckshot Jones is the first one a lap down, and Mark Martin gets a terrible restart of the 6.
It looks like he was trying to weave and clean his tires about the same time to start, or someone got in the back of it. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Oh, there we go.
Martin nosing up into Rich Bickle there. The lap car. Little wave from inside Bickle's machine, like, what's that all about? That's Bickle in the 4. another look at that restart from a minute ago.
See what happens there. Is Mark in second spot? It looks like
he got hit by Dale Jarrett.
Yes, he did. And Gordon had to get off the gas, and the 97 car, Kurt Busch, had to go down the inside to avoid another wreck. He kind of got hung up behind the 71 car. But now they got it all sorted out.
So we had about 4 wrecks there, just nobody spun and nobody crashed. You know, I can't imagine what it's like inside one of these race cars in this traffic here at Martinsville. I suppose it's very easy to understand why these guys get so mad.
Because they have the adrenaline going just as high as it's possible to have adrenaline flowing. And when something happens on the racetrack, you're right, they get angry quickly.
People running into you, bouncing off each other. Nothing, you know, Dale Jarrett didn't mean to run into Mark there. He just got a better jump than Mark did.
But you always think he did it on purpose. Anytime somebody hits you, you think, man, he hit me and run into me. He did that on purpose.
You think he did it on purpose, or he's stupid, one or the other.
Or both.
Or both, yeah. Normally both.
Talked with Johnny Benson earlier in the weekend here at Martinsville about this racetrack and why it's not one of his favorites, and that anger factor was one of the things he told us about.
It's difficult, you know. You want to go racing, but when you get here, everybody takes the excuse that, well, I can just bang you out of the way and get away with it, and that really takes a lot of the fun out of it. I mean, you hate to get beaten, banged, and run all over the track and destroy half your race car, and everybody thinks it's okay to do that. And I think that's probably why, you know, a lot of the guys don't particularly care for the play.
I'm with JB on that one.
Benson running in 16th. Remember, he had the problem earlier that dropped him all the way to the back of the field. Had to make the extra pit stop under an early caution. He's picking his way back up.
On board with Joe Nemechek. And let's see, where is Nemechek? Back in the 17th position as he tries to close in on Benson.
And Benson there trying to overtake his teammate Ken Schrader in the 36 for the 15th spot.
Wally lap 300. I got a sneaky feeling that Dale Jarrett and Jeff Gordon might have changed their left sides for the last time.
That would be the strategy.
Really? I mean, they stopped shy of 300. You think they'll just take 2 tires the rest of the way?
Well, I don't know. It depends on what kind of wear they're getting to the left side. And you see Mark Martin, he sees that Dale Jarrett is much faster. He moves over, lets Jarrett go by.
And people probably wonder, why is Mark doing that? Why would he do that? And the reason he does that is, if you run side by side here for that position lap after lap, all the cars behind you catch up to you real quick.
This is 10th place we're looking at. Jeff Burton in the 99 is 10th. Ricky Rudd in the 28 and Bobby Hamilton in the 55 are chasing him. Running 4th while Rudd is back here in 11th. So thus far in the race, the championship picture not good for Ricky Rudd, although considering he fell back to 34th with a balky transmission and an extra pit stop back at lap number 207, he's getting away with that for now. 196 laps to go in the Old Dominion 500 at Martinsville. NASCAR on TNT bringing you today the Old Dominion 500 presented by Stacker 2 from the half-mile Martinsville Speedway in South Central Virginia. You look down on this beautiful racetrack from our U.S. Army Skycam. There are 212 ways to be a soldier. Find out more at GoArmy.com. There's your leader. 22 car Ward Burton now being pursued by Dale Jarrett.
And this could present big problems for the rest of the competition. Dale Jarrett, very, very fast. One here in the spring.
Just Dale Jarrett like in Martinsville. Dale Jarrett's teammate, Ricky Rudd, just moved into the top 10. He's in 9th place now. He's just overtaken Mike Wallace for a spot. Matt Yoakum.
Ricky Rudd, a whale of a drive from 34th up to 9th. Fatback, are you concerned, though, about Ricky using up that race car?
No, I mean, he's not really abusing it like he looks like he is right now. But
real good this place. He's just taking his time going up through there, and hopefully he can get back to the front by the end of the race.
Any concern about that early transmission trouble?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's uncommon, but it's not uncommon. Stuff like that happens. You got it jammed in 2 gears at once. We got it fixed. I think we'll be all right now.
Going from the back to the front is nothing new for Ricky Rudd here. In the spring race, he had a failure to brake line connection, lost only 2 laps, and fought back to finish second. He's hoping to pick up today his 4th win in front of a near-capacity crowd here at Martinsville.
And Ricky is running the fastest laps on the track right now. Last time by, he ran a 20.66. Everybody else at least a 1/10 of a second slower than he.
Well, we saw just a moment ago he was about 5 6/10 of a second behind Ward Burton. Now it's under almost 5 4/10. So he is gaining every lap on the leader, but he's still got 5 seconds to make up.
Brett Bodine has just gone back to the garage. It'll be the 3rd trip behind the wall today for him as they continue to deal with those brake problems that he came down with earlier. And the leader catching some traffic, Dave Marcus, here in Martinsville today after Dick Trickle qualified that car for him on Friday.
See the line? Let's go back to the 28 car and see how he's doing this time. Well, that time Bobby Hamilton back in 10th position ran the fastest lap. Look at that, over 91 miles per hour. The leader just over 89 miles per hour.
Ward Burton and Dale Jarrett now working up on the back of Kevin LePage to try and put the 32nd place car 1 lap down. Kevin in the 7, the last one on the lead lap. Jeff Gordon closing in on Mark Martin for 3rd place. There's a man who has just an enviable record here in Martinsville, is Jeff Gordon. In 17 Martinsville career races, he has 10 top 5s, 3 wins, a career average finish of 6.8.
And right now, Jeff Gordon probably has less damage on his car than any other car out there. Does he have a dent on it?
Up front, putting Kevin LePage a lap down and dealing with that traffic has allowed Jarrett to close in even further. Remember that Ward only got 2 tires on his pit stop and Dale got 4, so now that we've run, what, 20 laps, 25 laps under the green, that may be getting to play itself out also.
And like Benny said earlier, that you've got to set yourself up for the last pit stop. If you run a long way on and make a 2-tire change, you've got to take 4. You know Ward's got to take left sides between now and the end of the race. The 88 may not.
Here he comes, and there's trouble ahead of them. Car in the wall off turn 2. Look out, that's Rich Bickle, and they squeeze by. No caution. And the race for the lead continues.
And they're still side by side. Here they come off the corner. And Ward Burton leads that lap. He probably won't lead the next lap.
Everything's clear over here. Nice and smooth with him. Nice and smooth with him. We're in good shape, buddy. Rock and roll with him.
It'll be the first time today that Dale Jarrett has led the Old Dominion 500. One of 10 different drivers who've traded the lead in this one. 175 laps to go. Trouble for Matt Kenseth as we come back to Martinsville right in front of the leader, Dale Jarrett. No caution.
And Jarrett had to back off for all that smoke, which allowed Jeff Gordon to close in almost half the distance that Jarrett had on him.
Kenseth lost a lap in that spin. He's back in 30th place. Let's take you back through the field some. Updates from pit road on how the top drivers are running. We start with Bill Weber.
Well, Alan, 6 times a year, Dale Jarrett used to get the question, when are you going to win a short track race? When are you going to win a short track race? And after he broke through, he is now a threat at almost every short track event. Now, the way his car looks today, he might consider bringing the truck next time, but he's had a good run here, continues to work with Todd Parrott, and rolling that that car through the turns. The nose damage not a factor at this point. Dale Jarrett looking for a sweep at Martinsville, Dave.
And Bill, it appears that Ward Burton may have lost the lead to Jarrett for the spinning car of Rich Bickle. May have backed off just the slightest amount, which allowed Jarrett to get a good run on him. He's hoping to be the next Dodge to win here. Dodge has 9 total wins here, the last one being from Dave Marcus in 1975. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon closing now on Burton. The track bar adjustment and 4 tires that they gave to Gordon the last time fixed that loose in condition, according to crew chief Robbie Loomis. Let's go to Marty.
Well, Dave, 23-year-old Kurt Busch is doing an outstanding job today. You know, in his last 7 races, he has only 1 top 10. That was 9th at Kansas. Currently, he is 4th. And in that 7-race period, he's fallen back to 26 in the points. These guys really want a top 10 today. Only thing on the radio Kurt said is that the car feels very good right now. Ben Leslie, as crew chief, says, be smooth. To Bill Weber.
The longer this race goes, the better Ricky Craven seems to get deeper in the run, and that has been their focus since the green flag. We talked about it. Solid for the first 20 laps, then the car seemed to fall off after that. They've worked with air pressure throughout the afternoon to try and make the car better later in the race. They will make another air pressure adjustment next time, continuing to chase that goal. Ricky Craven currently 5th. Matt?
Mark Martin is trying to break a 55-race winless streak. The last time he drove the victory lane was right here at Martinsville in the spring. He has not shown his hand all day, taking it easy on his equipment, saving his equipment. That's why he let the 97 car go and take the lead earlier in the race. Mark reporting in, his car is not as good on this set of tires. It's starting to get loose. To Marty.
On Monday afternoon, Benny Parsons said Kenny Wallace might be a sleeper to pick for this race, and so far, so good for Kenny. He said it's the best it's been all day. The car very good. He runs in 7th. His best since filling in for Steve Park is a 17th at Kansas. They are very happy right now. To Matt Yoakum.
Over the past few laps, the 28 driver, Ricky Rudd, has not said anything on the radio. He just moved into 7th on the racetrack. He's hunkered up on top of that wheel, knocking down cars, but he is looking ahead, managing his race. He told his crew chief, Fatback Michael McSwain, I think possibly if we have to pit with 100 laps to go, we will not take any tires. I think I figured out what this car can do without fresh tires. To Marty.
Well, Matt, a little while ago, the guy you just talked about, Ricky Rudd, passed Bobby Labonte on the racetrack. Jimmy Makar, his crew chief, radioed to him, said if he can keep up with Rudd, you're doing good because Rudd is the best car on the track. Bobby Labonte has 3 top 10s in his last 4 races here, and he's well on his way to another one today. Running in 9th, he's a little bit loose, and he's one of the drivers talking about the rubber buildup on the racetrack. When he hits it, he said his car gets very loose. To Bill Weber.
Bobby Hamilton has had a solid day on the track, but not that good in the pits. In fact, his last pit stop was a little over 18 seconds. Plus, twice on pit road, he's been hit by different cars. But on the racetrack, he has been patient. He's been able to make up the ground he's lost in the pits. This race has over 150 laps to go, and Bobby Hamilton is well aware of that. The crew has really focused on their next pit stop. It should be a dent, Marty.
Bill, John Andretti has done a superb job today. Remember, they were involved in the first caution. They had a little bit of damage. They have fixed that damage, obviously, and today they have made no adjustments to the race car. They have not had a top 10 since Bristol in March. These guys desperately need a good run today. Jeff Burton, right behind in 12th, has done very good as well. He also was involved in that first caution of the day. They have fixed the damage. They have made very few changes to his car as well. He has 6 straight top 10s here. He needs to do a little bit of work to get back into the top 10. He is currently running 12th with his car a little bit tight. To Matt Yoakum.
A phrase uttered many times. A Wallace is running well at Martinsville. This time it's not Rusty, it's Mike Wallace. Currently, he's in the 13th position. For the first time today, he's actually reporting his car is tight. On his last stop, they made a track bar and wedge adjustment, but they have over-adjusted. They know now what they're going to do on their next stop to get that car where it needs to be. To Marty Snyder.
Well, the biggest problem for Sterling Marlin is that his car slides the nose when it goes into the corner. They have yet to be able to fix that problem today. He led the most laps at Charlotte last week and was very fast, obviously winning the race. But Martinsville, he's a little bit of a sleeper. Here in the spring, he started 31st and finished 5th. Today, he is 26th and running up in the top 15.
Sterling in 14th, just ahead of Ken Schrader, who runs Hamilton's in the 15th spot. Schrader started in 20th. Steady but not spectacular.
And we see Joe Nemechek, the 33 car, right behind Kenny Schrader. Nemechek in 16th.
And keeping an eye on Joe's brakes with our suspension cam all day, but so far he's running strongly. Kevin Harvick, back from Memphis yesterday, started in the back of the field because Rick Mast qualified this car. And old Happy's up into 17th. Struggling day for Rusty Wallace.
I mean, it's just hard to imagine going through a field and getting back to 18th and finding Rusty Wallace, because he has dominated this track for so long. Bill, what are they saying down there?
Well, that's exactly it, Benny. They're not saying much at all.
And we lost.
And neither is Bill.
I'm back. Just had to duck out of some traffic there. You know, it's a dangerous sport. Rusty has not said much really at all on the radio. I talked to his crew chief, Robin Pemberton, a few laps ago. He said they think they've tightened Rusty up a little bit, but ever since he spun, Rusty's primary focus, get back those positions that he lost. Hasn't been overly successful at that, but again, with 150 to go in this race, Rusty might have an opportunity to make that Ford a little bit better.
Jerry Nadeau's been perhaps the hardest working man on the day today. Lost 2 laps in an incident earlier, made them both up.
And currently runs in 19th position. And I really believe if you could give him track position right now, 25, get him up front with Dale Jarrett, he would be as fast as Jarrett.
Still on the lead lap, cars we're looking at, Jimmy Spencer. This is 20th place, and 21st, Ron Hornaday right behind him, racing for a spot. Neither one have been up in the top 10 at all day. Just kind of hanging midfield. Then in 22nd place. All right, let's check up front. 2nd place here.
As Robbie Gordon spins on the backstretch, the 31 car, and he's pointing the wrong way. This probably will bring out the caution flag.
And it has. Yellow flag number 10. And another big opportunity for pit strategy right here. 147 to go. You change lefts? You're Dale Jarrett.
I do. I'd change 4 right now.
Well, I probably would change 4 because you may not have to stop again. These cars, I believe, can run the rest of the way. In case it were,
Damn it, I'm coming in.
In case it were to go green flag.
Robbie was one of the cars on the lead lap before that spin. All right, let's see what's going to happen. Marty?
Kurt Busch will come in running 3rd. The 23-year-old doing an excellent job today, Alan. They will take 4 tires, and they will make no adjustments. They plan on this being their last stop of the day. Kurt said, we don't need any more tires. We need no adjustments. To Matt Yoakum.
Ricky Rudd trying to pick up his 4th Martinsville win. Will not take on any adjustments to this 28 machine. He has climbed to 4th from 34th. Now he's taking on 4 tires. To Bill Weber.
They've already made a wedge adjustment on Dale Jarrett's car. 1 round in the left side. It's 4 tires and fuel. They should be able to reach the finish. Dave?
Ward Burton took 2 tires last time, beat everybody off of pit road. He'll take 4 this time. Can they accomplish the same feat? He does get beat by 2 or 3 cars. Nearly hit by Ricky Craven, but he does beat Dale Jarrett out of the pits, and Jarrett was leading.
First one off the pit lane. Look at that rush. First one off the pit lane was Bobby Hamilton. Now, we heard Bill Weber report about that they've struggled on some pit stops earlier in the day. We'll check back with Bill in a moment and see if Hamilton got 2 or 4 tires.
I'm betting on 2.
Ricky Rudd had a great pit stop.
All right, here's the race off pit road.
Ever see Hamilton? He got, and man, it had to be 2 tires because so long is going before the next car comes off. There goes Rudd, Busch, the 32 car. And Jarrett, the leader, back in about 5th or 6th, and Jeff Gordon back in some traffic now.
And indeed, it is confirmed it was just right side tires on the 55 car. Casey Atwood stayed on the track to lead a lap. Now he's on pit road for service. Casey got back on the lead lap at the previous caution, collecting those 5 bonus points in the championship standings. You're watching NASCAR on TNT. A lap away from the restart in the Old Dominion 500 presented by Stacker 2 at Martinsville. Bobby Hamilton's team taking just 2 tires on that stop.
Hey, I think they're done with left side for the rest of the day.
You said before.
Yep, I think they're done for the rest of the day. If they didn't change them now with 150 laps to go. Track position is everything.
Hamilton leads, Rudd is second, Kurt Busch is third, Ricky Craven is fourth, Ward Burton is fifth, then Dale Jarrett, who was the leader at the caution, Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, Jeff Burton, and Mark Martin.
Oh, look at Kurt Busch on the outside. They are going 3 wide. Wow, what a move to get. Uh-oh, I thought he made a move.
Oh, man, Ricky. He did a lot of damage that right front right there. He actually drove up on top of the 97 car there.
And he cut down Kurt's left rear tire in the process. So he delivered a message to the young man that he wasn't happy with the restart, but at the same time, did he tear his own car up, Ricky's, when he's second in points?
Well, he obviously has got some damage to the brake ducts on the right front, and that's the most important corner of this race car. Make sure that right front is cool for those brakes.
Now, he can't get down to get the pit road. Kurt can't. There goes the entrance to the pit road.
He's going to spin it here in a second.
Well, he hit the wall first. He's still going to spin, looks like.
It looks like Benny's virtual lap.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, now you can finally get to the inside. And the left rear is completely flat now. What a terrific run this young man had today, going today.
Still riding that thing hard. Boy.
Yep, the tire's gone now. Just the rim is left.
Who knows what kind of damage to the suspension there. Marty?
Well, and what a devastating break for these guys, Alan. They obviously looked like they had a top 10 in the bag. Ben Leslie, the crew chief, doing a very good job of keeping Kurt calm on the radio. A little left rear fender damage, but not too bad. And Kurt was very, very upset with what happened on the racetrack.
Let's see the 28 car here. See, boy, that, I don't know, that may help the brakes. I don't know, there's a lot of air going through there. It's not really going to affect the aero too much here, because that's really not important.
Well, let's see that restart one more time. You see Ricky Rudd in second spot. And when they threw the green flag, Busch jumped to the outside. When they get down the corner, Busch goes to the inside. But there, Ricky tries to get back under him as he come off the corner, and there's where they made the contact. Now, whether or not that was payback or not, I don't know.
Yeah, Kurt Busch did nothing wrong there. I mean, that lane was open, and he went for it.
How about Ricky Rudd's car, Matt?
Well, Alan, as crew chief Michael Fatback McSwain walked out into pit road, out into the middle of pit road, and looked at Ricky's car, eyed the right front corner as he came down the front straightaway 2 laps ago, and he gave me the thumbs up. Said, looks like everything's okay. Just a lot of typical Martinsville cosmetic sheet metal damage to Marty Snyder.
Well, and Matt, things are getting worse for Kurt Busch. There is tire wrapped around the axle. It is very hot. These guys are having a tough time getting that excess tire off of the axle. It's wrapped around the hub as well. Kurt now shuts the engine off. They also cut a brake line. Ben Leslie noticed, very smart to notice, that the inside of the hub of the tire they pulled off back here in the pit stall had brake fluid on it. So he noticed that. He said, we must have cut a brake line. As soon as he said that, Kurt radioed in, we've cut a brake line, and now they're trying to pull the rubber around from the axle. These guys had a top 10 or a top 5 in the bag today, and it looks like they're not even going to finish on the lead lap here.
That's a good call, Marty. Good call to find that brake fluid on the wheel.
So tip the cap there to Ben Leslie, Kurt Busch's crew chief, for spotting that. And Kurt right now is 7 laps down.
And here's a battle for the 8th position between Jeff Gordon and Jeff Burton.
Burton started in the back of the field. This is a backup car. Final practice, Ricky Rudd lost an engine on the track just in front of him. He got in the liquid and clobbered the outside wall. Burton himself involved in an incident in the early part of the race where he basically had to stop on the racetrack. When a couple of cars tangled in front of him, he wrinkled up the nose of his machine. And yet here he is, top 10.
And let me just say this, Bobby Hamilton is just loving that track position. He is pulled away by over 2.5 seconds from Ricky Rudd.
Talk about, I mentioned Jeff Gordon's enviable Martinsville record a little while back, Benny. Listen to Jeff Burton. In the last 3 Martinsville races, 2nd, 3rd, 3rd. Hey, you think this racing in Martinsville is tough on the race cars?
I know it is.
Look what it does to our equipment. Watch this.
my goodness.
Crash. Look at that hunk of rubber.
That was our camera.
Yep. Wow. Here goes Burton, 8th place. And that's something Ricky Rudd's loving to see.
Yes, he is.
That's another chunk of points between himself and Gordon on the day. Rudd running in 2nd. Gordon now back to 9th. .124 laps to go. Bobby Hamilton is your leader in the Old Dominion 500 at Martinsville. More trouble for Dale Jr. as we come back to Martinsville.
This is not be a day that will go down in infamy for Dale. Well, it might be.
It'll go down in infamy.
Yes,
yeah.
it will. Might be one of the worst days we've ever had. And Bobby Hamilton Jr. had a over 2.5-second lead that now it goes down to zilch, 0.
Caution flag number 11 in the Old Dominion 500.
Must be Buckshot must have been involved in that, because we see the left front fender smoking on Buckshot's car.
So if you're Jeff Gordon and you've been kind of not keeping pace here in this last segment, do you pit here?
Well, I don't know.
120, 118 laps to go.
His pit road is open, and no one has chosen to pit.
Not even. Yeah, you know.
John Andretti.
12th place car. Andretti.
I think the guys towards the back will probably come in. They got nothing to lose.
There's Andretti. Johnny Benson is also in. Terry Labonte. Stacy Compton will come in. Kevin Harvick will come in. Marty?
Andretti's going to come in, Alan. I think they're running 11th, and they're going to make no adjustments on this stop. They have not made an adjustment on this car all day long. It has been very good. They're hoping the tires will help them gain some track position. Today, Burns.
And Johnny Benson keeps complaining about grip on his car. He was really, really loose last time. They've improved it just a little bit. They're going to go ahead and put 4 tires on the car, make an air pressure adjustment, and try to give him a little bit more grip coming off the corners on this tight, tight half mile.
Pretty good stop, 14.5 seconds.
And so just cars who were at the back half of the lead lap group coming in on the caution flag. What happened to bring out the yellow?
Well, Junior might have got tapped by the 22. Hard to say. And there we see the 44 get in the right rear of the 18 car. So Bobby Labonte has some damage to the rear of his car.
Dale Jr. back in 32nd place. And he is now 3 laps down to the race leader. Dave?
And they're going to go ahead and change 4 tires for Dale Earnhardt Jr. They maintained the ability to get fuel in that car, which was one of their main concerns. And you can see they're just taking a little bit more time to work on some body damage there. Not critical here, but then again, you don't want stuff hanging so far off that NASCAR puts the black flag out on you.
Was it this race last year where Dale Jr. went out there and he was just all over the place? He hit everything but the pace car that day, to the point that his father radioed into Richard Childress from his car and made a comment and said, "Richard, what is that boy doing?" And he came back here in the spring and had a much, much better day, finishing in the 11th spot. Not going to be that way today after qualifying 2nd fastest for this race. And look at the damage to Bobby Labonte, Marty.
And Alan, the damage on Bobby Labonte's car is not too bad. Actually, Butch Hilton is the chief mechanic on this car. Their pit stall is right in front of the new walkthrough tunnel. So they took advantage of that. They could not see from the top. His spotter, Eddie Massencup, could not see the damage on the car and if it was rubbing on the tire. So Butch went through the walkthrough tunnel, ran underneath the track to the other side of the track, got up in the stands and looked at the damage, said it was fine, it's not rubbing on the tire, so they decided to leave him out on the racetrack.
I don't know. Right, see that fender though, right there, it's got a big hole in the front. And when he's going down the straightaways at about 120 mile an hour, there's going to be air going in that big hole. So it'll be interesting to see if it doesn't.
Ready to go. Pace cars off. Bobby Hamilton leads. Bobby Labonte is in 6th place. Hud Strickland in the red and gold car. First one a lap down to the inside of the leaders. Hud's back in 28th place.
And Hamilton, the leader got a terrific break and put the lap car of Hutch Strickland, the 90, between himself and Ricky Rudd in second place. What a huge break.
And don't forget, Bobby Hamilton has got a lot of brakes left, so I think he can even run faster if he has to.
More on the leader from Bill Weber.
Well, Alan, Bobby Hamilton got the lead through pit strategy and a good pit stop. A two-tire stop last time they were on pit road. Now, Jason Sheets is one of the unsung heroes in NASCAR Winston Cup racing. One of those linemen you only talk about when they do something wrong. But today, he did something great. He changes the rear tires on the 55 car. His air hose to his air gun was leaking on the previous stop. It took them over 18 seconds. Jason found the leak, went to change the hose, then noticed that the trigger on the gun was bent. He was working on that when the representative from Ingersoll Rand that makes the gun just happened to be going by the rear of their pits. He showed him the gun. The representative went and got him a new gun. When he didn't come back quick enough, Jason ran after the representative, came running back with the gun, attached the new air hose, the new gun, taped the connection. Then they made the two-tire stop that made Bobby Hamilton the race leader. His crew chief, Jimmy Elledge, says, our car is good. We haven't been able to show it because we've been trapped in traffic. Now they hope to show it off.
And look at Hamilton not using those brakes, how he drifts up off the bottom, and Ricky Rudd is staying right on. But Hamilton is maintaining a good speed.
It looks like Ricky is catching him a little bit, but also looks like Ricky's using a little bit more brake getting into the corner, which is hard to do when you're chasing the leader down or anybody in front of you. You're going to run that car in a little bit deeper to try to make that ground up.
And I think Hamilton is trying to keep his right sides out of that buildup, that rubber buildup that you've been talking about. I think Hamilton is trying to straddle that.
Of course, if that camera over in turn 2 hadn't got taken out by that hunk of rubber, we could get a better look at that. Ricky Rudd running second. Jeff Gordon back down in 11th place. Fighting with Hamilton's teammate, Joe Nemechek in the 33.
I'm really surprised that Jeff Gordon did not stop that last time. I realized he could not give up the track position, but obviously his car is not as good as it was earlier. Is it, Dave?
No, it is not, Benny. In fact, earlier today, I reported that the car starts out tight.
Something's wrong with Ricky Rudd, Dave. Hang on. Rudd is off the pace. He slowed on the backstretch. Jarrett went by him. He was wiggling his car. See the smoke?
Blowing smoke. Blowing smoke.
Second place in points has got problems with 104 laps to go. Matt?
Clear.
Alan, I just looked at Doug Yates and I said, something in the engine. He goes, yep, something has seriously gone bad in the engine. And you can hear it when he goes by. He is definitely down on power.
Wow. Mark it down. Lap 396 at Martinsville. Might have been the end of Ricky Rudd's championship bid.
And you see that the problem is getting worse and worse and worse. And okay, it's over. It's over.
Yeah. Your line coming outside. Down low as you can. All right, buddy, bring it on pit road.
Black flag for Rudd.
That's okay. He won't be able to get there.
No caution, though. We stay under the green.
Oh, it's going to be sweet here.
Stay as low as you can.
Oh, he's going to be heartbroken.
4 more.
He just goes straight to the garage area because he realizes that it's over.
Well, if there's one person happy to see that, it was Bobby Hamilton.
And another guy's Jeff Gordon.
It's Jeff Gordon, I was thinking. And there's Gordon, who moves up to 10th with Rudd's demise. 10th in the running order of the race. Ricky Rudd out. Tony Stewart, third in points, out of the race, back at lap 123, also with a problem under the hood. We were getting an update on Jeff Gordon from Dave Burns. Let's go back to Dave.
Yeah, just to cap it off, Alan, the condition that he starts out in tight is worse this time, according to his crew chief, Robbie Loomis. So, again, they expect the car to come back around, but it may take longer this time for the 24 to be fast again at the end of a long run.
But, big picture, it's going to be a good day.
Yes, indeed.
For Jeff Gordon. Running right now in 10th spot, Ricky Rudd has just gone to the garage. Bobby Hamilton is the leader of the Old Dominion 500 at Martinsville.
Welcome back to Martinsville, where the 55 of Bobby Hamilton continues to lead back in the garage with Ricky Rudd. Ricky, you're in the garage. What happened?
Well, I'm not really sure. Something let go on the motor. You know, no warning. All of a sudden, it just hand grenaded, and that was our day.
You have a love-hate relationship with this track. Obviously, this puts a major dent in your chances to try and catch Jeff.
Well, it really does. We didn't need this today. You know, we needed a victory, and felt like we had things shaping up to go our way. We had a transmission problem earlier in the race. We were sitting there at 4th or 5th and left the pits, and it hung in gear, had to come back in. So we fought all day to get back, finally got back, and then the motor broke on us.
We'll see you next week. Thank you. Well, Ricky Rudd won here at Martinsville a number of years ago, one of his most emotional victories, but this will certainly be one of his toughest defeats.
Certainly will, Bill. Check our Napa Field summary, how things have progressed through 410 laps of this Old Dominion 500. 12 different leaders today, ties the all-time record for the most different leaders in a Martinsville race. You can see we've had the standard number of yellow flags, a lot of cautions and caution flag laps. Rudd, Tony Stewart, Bill Elliott, and Robert Presley are the 4 cars out. 3 of them due to engine failure, Presley due to an early crash. And for Bobby Hamilton, as you look at the drivers who are out of the race, for Bobby Hamilton, it's all going his way right now. He's half a second up on Dale Jarrett.
But a lot of traffic in front of the leader, Bobby Hamilton.
At what point does the fact that Hamilton only took 2 tires and Jarrett got 4 start to play it out? Let's say we go green to the finish from when they pitted.
I don't know. The guys talk about how good these tires are, so they may be good enough till the end.
I think it's more of a brake issue, to be honest with you. Who's got the best brakes between these guys up front for the last 50 laps?
And you know what? Craven is hanging right with Jarrett, too. He could be a factor in the finish also. Inside the final stages of the Old Dominion 500 presented by Stacker 2, there's the leaderboard at Martinsville. Martinsville in some pretty heavy lap traffic now. Next weekend, it's on to Talladega. Bud Pole qualifying Friday 4 Eastern on CNN Sports Illustrated. Doubleheader Saturday. Final Winston Cup practice at 1 Eastern time on TNT. Immediately followed by the 300-mile event for the ARCA Series. Then next Sunday on NBC, it's EA Sports. The EA Sports 500 presented by Dodge. 12:30 Eastern time on NBC. That is next weekend from the world's fastest speedway. And look at the race for the lead.
I would say Bobby Hamilton's spotter's awfully busy right now on top of that roof, trying to get these slower guys or the cars that are a lap down in front of them to give way so they can get through clean. Because if he makes one wrong lane change, or if he gets caught up behind a slower car, that 88 car is going to be right next to him.
I think we're starting to see the extra 2 tires pay off for Jarrett here.
But we'll soon find out. And Hamilton still is not keeping that car on the bottom. But you see, when he does run a little bit higher, he gets a great run off the corner. Now we see Rich Bicklin, 4 car. Battle for the 8th position. Sterling Marlin, the 40, trying to take it away from Mike Wallace at 12.
Sterling, last week's winner at Charlotte. Michael Waltrip in trouble off turn 4. No caution. Look at the leaders weaving their way around.
And now the 55 car has got a couple of lap cars between himself and Dale Jarrett.
So that's good fortune there for Bobby Hamilton. Hamilton finished 4th here back in the April race at Martinsville. The following week, he went on to Talladega. And it turned out to be a pretty fine afternoon for him. Hamilton at the world's fastest speedway, scoring his first and only victory of the season, leading this 4-deep charge to the checkered flag, edging Tony Stewart for the win, giving Andy Petrie his first ever victory as a NASCAR Winston Cup team owner. And there's Andy celebrating with his driver.
He should show some more emotion.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, don't be so calm. Jeff Gordon trying to take another spot away. This one is Mike Wallace.
9th place at stake here. Gordon trying to follow Sterling Marlin through. Marlin has gone up and passed Jeff Burton, just ahead of them already. And now Gordon clears the Mike Wallace car. Bobby Hamilton, the race leader, has had only one top 10 finish in the 20 races since his Talladega win. He's looking for victory today. The NASCAR Winston Cup circuit, Martinsville Speedway in Virginia, now holding better than 86,000 at capacity and about 3/4 full on this Monday. A lot of people not in work today, that's for sure.
But Bobby Hamilton has a problem. He just cannot get by the 26 car of Jimmy Spencer. He's been trying for a couple laps. He finally gets by him, but Dale Jarrett has closed up on his back bumper.
Spencer, the 25th place car, was trying to stay on the lead lap.
Now Spencer runs the 88 like he did Bobby Hamilton. Bobby will get that lead back.
Right to that 88 like he did us.
Thank you very much.
Whoa, look at that. He slipped up out of the bottom groove and kind of shut Jarrett off there. How about Ricky Craven, 32 car, hanging right in there, 3rd place. Best career short track finish in a NASCAR Winston Cup race. 7th place, North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, April 1996. And that team has really gotten stronger in the second half of the season.
Oh, they have been terrific this year. As we see Terry Labonte very slow, heading towards pit road.
Buckshot Jones was on the pit lane with a flat left front tire while we were away in that last commercial break. Let's see what the troubles are for Terry, the 2-time NASCAR Winston Cup champ. The way he's approaching that pit stall, I'd say he's afraid of being out of brakes.
Yeah, we see the right front brake is on fire. See the right front brake on fire?
Marty?
Yeah, you guys hit that one. It is a brake problem for Terry Labonte, and that's sort of unusual for Terry. He's one of the ones that takes care of the brakes, especially here at Martinsville. Very well known for that, for being gentle on the equipment, and it is a brake problem for Terry Labonte.
Folks, it's unbelievable just how warm these brakes are and how easy that Bobby Hamilton, our leader, is on brakes. As a matter of fact, knowing that, we put a camera on his brake, and here we are, and the rotor, they're redder than they were early in the race because he's now leading, trying to get away from Dale Jarrett, but still, down the backstretch, these rotors almost cool down to nothing.
I can't believe how good those rotors look. They really look good. See, it's hard to see in this shot, but right here, you want to do it? This right here, that's where the hoses blow into that, and it blows into the back side of the rotor, and it's actually pushing air through the rotor and onto the caliper to try to keep it cool. And those pieces are real important, how close the tolerances are on that, to where you can fit it right against that to make that cool.
All right, now let's go on board with Joe Nemechek, his teammate, and we'll see. There's Nemechek going to corner. Now, this is what you would expect. And I don't think that this rotor will go back to its natural color down the straightaway. See, it stays much redder than does Hamilton's.
Is that smoke or just a change in light that I see drifting across there?
Yeah, it looks like the change of light.
The change of light.
About.
Yeah.
Now, this is what most everyone's brakes will look like, and the rotors will look like, except Bobby Hamilton's.
And it's a great comparison because they're 2 team cars. You know, they've got the same basic stuff on them, cooling and type of equipment.
Oh, and then we see the 33 go around. Oh, and he runs in the wall.
Jerry Nadeau and Kenny Wallace, the other 2 cars involved.
The leader, right behind you there. Dig hard at Bobby.
And they've all lost a lap.
Oh, man.
Well, that was a different look at it, wasn't it?
We were along for the ride, literally, on that one.
And Nadeau has a left front tire that's flat.
Kenny Wallace has got the nose all pushed in on his.
Go down clear, low. Just be careful, just get on around.
Now, what's going to happen to these leaders? Are they going to pit? Is Hamilton going to pit, or is he done pitting?
54 laps to go. And the leaders will open pit road this time down the backstretch. What's it going to be?
I'm not coming, Benny.
You're not coming?
I'm not coming in.
Oh, here he comes. Is he? Is this
yes,
Here he's coming.
A lot of guys won't.
Leaders are in. Let's see who the first one is that stays out. So far, everybody on the lead lap is coming in. Marty.
Labonte will come down pit road. Of course, leader Bobby Hamilton also pitting. Labonte has gotten very, very loose on this front, Alan. They will go down one round on the track bar, and they put that in right now to Matt Yoakum.
And Mark Martin, they are talking about either 2 or 4 tire change. They are going to take 1 round of bite out. Mark Martin says his car was just tight and getting progressively tighter. And yes, they do take on 4 to Bill Weber.
Bobby Hamilton's already gone. It was 2 right side tires only. 2 right side tires. Those lefts have a lot of laps on them.
Boy, do they ever, Bill. What a gamble that Jimmy Elledge and Bobby Hamilton, what a gamble they're making today.
Hamilton gets rights. Ricky Craven gets rights. Ward Burton, Bobby Labonte, and Jeff Gordon are the rest of the top 5 off the pit lane. Half a lap from the restart in the Old Dominion 500. All kind of things happening on pit road a moment ago.
First of all, here we see the crash between the 33 car and of Joe Nemechek and the 1 of Kenny Wallace. Kenny was on the bottom. Nemechek, they kind of disputed that territory, and find out the windup was we saw 3 cars involved. And there was a crash from on board his brake cam. All right, green flag in the air.
Johnny Benson, Kevin Harvick, and Matt Kenseth did not pit. Benson restarted the leader. Harvick has quickly jumped to his inside to try and take it away. Dave Burns.
And the 10 car of Johnny Benson, I just checked with James Inson's crew chief, as now Benson tries to get down to the low side and follow Harvick. He does so. It said that Benson was saving his tires on that last run. That's why they felt they could stay out and now race for the win.
He's lost the lead. 26 car of Jimmy Spencer is not on the lead lap. Spencer's the first one a lap down in 20th place. This is the race for second. Matt Kenseth in the 17 to the outside of Benson.
4th place car is Bobby Hamilton, who only changed once again right side tires that last stop.
Whoa, Johnny Benson got sideways going through there.
He's driving it hard.
Oh, camera problems again.
It hit the cameraman in the head, and that's a camera shot we got.
Probably scared him.
And Jimmy Spencer on the inside of the leader, trying to get a lap back. Boy, Harvick does not want to see that. It's going to allow those other cars to catch up.
Would he be better off just letting him go at this point?
I would. He probably would. Here comes the 32 car, Ricky Craven, who's been very, very good all day long. Now Bobby Hamilton's going to try to drive to the outside.
And see Harvick stomped on the brakes going into turn 3. Let Spencer get in front of him. Benson retakes second from Kenseth. Hamilton working Kenseth for third. Let's mention the cars that took 2 tires on the last stop were Hamilton, Craven, Ward Burton, Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, and Mike Wallace. Dale Jarrett was the first one off the pit lane that got 4 tires. He's running back in 9th. Kind of feel the intensity level of this one ratcheting up a little bit farther. Bill?
Well, Alan, just before they came down pit road, crew chief Jimmy Elledge asked Bobby Hamilton, did you leave us anything on the laps? He said they are fine. So they made a 2-tire change, right sides only. They're asking those left side tires to go 220 laps here at Martinsville.
Matt Kenseth was 4th.
Right to the truck. We'll never get a change this time here.
Sound like a gear is gone in the back of the car. We see some smoke on the back. And they said take it to the truck because they can't change it in the 40 laps remaining.
Jeff Gordon and Dale Jarrett tangling on the track a minute ago.
Oh, a little bit of a bump there. Jarrett goes on the inside, takes the spot away. Did he? Yes, he did.
A couple of spots. He lost a spot to the 12 car as well.
Dave Burns.
And Jeff Gordon doesn't get angry on the track very often, or at least he doesn't express it. But he piped up on the radio and he said, "I'll wait till I get to that 88." Maybe he can't ever get there, though, Alan. He's falling back.
We've got a great battle going on for the second spot. Hamilton on the inside of Johnny Benson and Ricky Craven is right there watching this.
Last thing that Kevin Harvick wants to see is that 55 get clear of the traffic. Ricky Craven going to try and follow Hamilton through underneath Benson, Bill.
And remember, as you pointed out, Alan, just 2 tires for the 32. And keep in mind, from the very start of this race, Ricky Craven very good on the short runs. He might pose the biggest threat to the 55 here in the closing laps.
He's hanging right with him. Ward Burton tried to get underneath Johnny Benson.
I don't think Johnny Benson's got much left on his rear tires by the looks of it.
But he's driving the wheels off and trying to keep it up there. Dave?
Benson just radioed in. I've got no grip, no side bite. It won't run.
Dale Jarrett coming through. Remember, he's the first one with 4 tires.
And that might be an advantage if he can get there. 35 laps remaining. Does he have enough time to catch Ricky Craven and Bobby Hamilton?
Matt Kenseth went out of the race a minute ago. Matt?
And Alan, they've already pulled the car back into the garage area on the lift. He is done for the day. A broken rear end gear. And speculation has been, and we talked before the race, about when you go to a little more aggressive gear like a 650, this is one of the things that can happen. And speculation is they are one of the Roush teams that possibly is running a 650 today.
Kenseth out, joining Ricky Rudd, Tony Stewart, Bill Elliott, and Robert Presley as those who will not finish, to this point, the Old Dominion 500.
All right, Jarrett takes that spot away. Here we are. This is for the lead. 29, Kevin Harvick, the Goodwrench car, in front. 55, Square D second, and the Tide Rod in third. Marty, what are they saying about Kevin Harvick?
Well, Harvick's car has been tight, Benny, and they really had nothing to lose. They've had about a 15th place car today, so Kevin Hamlin decided to leave him out. He knew that Bobby Hamilton would catch him. They're just hoping for a top 10. If they get the top 10, it will still be a good move by Kevin Hamlin and his crew.
Meanwhile, Ricky Craven trying to look on the outside. He is faster right now than Bobby Hamilton, I do believe. But behind them, here comes a guy with 4 fresh tires, Dale Jarrett.
It's tension time in Martinsville. Down to the final 30 circuits. Can Kevin Harvick fend off Bobby Hamilton and score a victory? Boy, have we got some replays to show you. We're under caution for the 13th time, and Ricky Craven is the new leader of the Old Dominion 500.
Here we go. This is turns 1 and 2. Hamilton gets in the back of the 29 car, gets him a little bit loose. He gets on the inside, and here comes Craven. They're 3 wide going in the corner. They go in the corner, side by side. The 29 car goes up and repays the blow from down in turn 1. Around goes Bobby Hamilton.
But the 29 is going to probably wind up paying for those actions.
Another look at it. Hamilton has been on and off pit road under this caution. Kevin Harvick is being held for a 1-lap penalty for rough driving. Marty?
And Kevin is being held now for the penalty. He's very upset on the radio. He said Bobby Hamilton hit him first. He said on the radio, turnabout is fair play. I should have the right to be able to hit him back. Unfortunately, Hamilton is the one who got spun out. And Richard Childress talking to his driver on the radio right now. Richard, what did Kevin say about the penalty?
I mean, I can't say it on TV.
All right, obviously the team is very upset right now. Kevin was very adamant on the radio. He said he felt like he should not be penalized, and that what happened was Bobby Hamilton hit him first. He was simply repaying the favor.
What about it, guys?
Well, okay, but Bobby Hamilton didn't spin you out. And you wound up spinning that, him completely out. I mean, I agree with Kevin that, okay, you should have got back into him, but you wound up taking the guy out of the second position. BP?
Again, let's go on board with the 29 car of Kevin Harvick. You ever see Bobby Hamilton going up? And now let's go on board with the 55 car, and there we see the bump.
I don't know. I don't like the call.
I like the call. I think that I think that Kevin Harvick was off the gas when Bobby Hamilton got back on the gas. I think Hamilton was going forward and the 29 car was not working as well. I think that Hamilton, both of them, were off the gas when the 29 ran the back of him.
I agree with you, Benny. I think that was the right call.
The first one looked to me like a racing incident, and the second one looked to me like payback.
Bobby Hamilton well back in the field now. He's got a lot of ground to make up if he's going to have a good finish.
And we welcome you back to Martinsville, Virginia, the closing laps of the Old Dominion 500. A couple of items down here from pit road. NASCAR has cautioned drivers on the lead lap to make sure they stay bunched up on the restart. No laying back trying to get a better jump when the green flag comes out. Remember, this is the track where Rusty Wallace was leading and then jumped the restart and was black flagged and lost the race. One other note, Ricky Craven and his crew talked it over about coming down pit road. There was no way they could do it, even though they only took 2 tires on the last stop and Dale Jarrett took 4. Mike Beam said, we'll give it everything we've got. Ricky Craven said, that's exactly what I'm going to do. We'll see what happens.
All right, Bill, thanks. Bobby Hamilton is back in 16th place. Kevin Harvick, 23rd. 1 lap down. It's Craven, Jarrett, Ward Burton, Bobby Labonte, and Johnny Benson, the top 5. And we're getting set to go green with 17 laps to go. Trip in the 15 is the lap car. Leaders clear him. And if we've seen the last of the yellow flag, I'd be shocked.
Because as you look here, Ward Burton, the 22 car, trying to get on the inside of the 88. And the 88 goes up the hill. Here comes Ward. Can't quite get there, though.
And Craven's loving it. Got him a couple of car lengths of a gap on Dale Jarrett.
Oh, Ward is trying. He tried to turn that wheel left and jump on the throttle. And all you saw was the back end flying on that cat car.
Just behind this, Mike Wallace trying to take 5th from Johnny Benson. He was just issued a warning by NASCAR to settle down a little bit, not use the front bumper so much. Jarrett's worrying more about 2nd than he is winning the race right now. Craven has gotten away.
Jarrett, somehow something has happened to his car on this caution flag. He was much stronger before the caution flag versus the Ricky Craven car. And Jarrett is using every inch of this racetrack trying to get this 88 car around there and catch the 22. 32, I said. I mean,
12 to go.
And Craven, that last lap was 3/4 of a mile faster, mile per hour faster. You see Jeff Burton on the inside of Mike Wallace. This is a battle for 6th.
Burton, remember, started last in a backup car. But he's even up fighting for a spot in the top 10. Makes it a remarkable day.
And Mike knows it.
There you go. You're back clear right now.
Mike gets back to the inside, and that was important because they had a line of cars ready to go by him.
Still 18 cars on the lead lap. A lot of positions can change hands in these final 10 laps. There's Jeff Gordon in the middle of that group, running 9th. Championship on the day. His title rival Ricky Rudd went out of the race with an engine failure at lap 397. Rudd is going to finish at least 39th, maybe 40th by the time the day's done. Another superb day for Mike Wallace in this 12 car.
Now, the 88 car is starting to gain on the 32 car. But is it too late?
Yeah, the 88 car looks to me like he's a little bit loose, especially getting into 1. It looks like the car's loose, and then it really gets sideways in the center. But he is picking up on the 32 car just a little bit.
Oh, Craven got that corner a little bit too hard. Or did he? Let's see. Oh, Craven still running a very good speed. And we see 99 able to get by Mike Wallace.
At 6th place, Mark Martin closing in. Just behind them, Jeff Gordon losing a spot. Sterling Marlin taking 9th from him. Contact.
Oh, Mark is up on the wheel right now.
He is. He's going somewhere now, trying to.
And Mike Wallace doing what he can to defend. Wallace in 7th, Martin in 8th. Traffic stacking up behind him.
All right, Mark is there now.
Yeah, and Mike's car is just, like I said earlier, his car is really, really loose. He's having a hard time keeping it down the bottom of the racetrack.
Try and get to that inside lane, but he can't do it. Up front.
Jarrett is right there, just a couple of car lengths behind Ricky Craven. It doesn't look like traffic is going to be an issue before this thing is over.
It's only got a few laps left to catch him. 3 to go when they come to the stripe. 3 car lengths for Jarrett. Catching him's one thing. Passing him's another.
Really caught him there.
Remember, Jarrett got 4 tires on the last pit stop. Craven just 2. What's it going to be?
Oh, he is right there.
Dale Jarrett trying to sweep at Martinsville on the season. Ricky Craven going for his first NASCAR Winston Cup win.
He's too hard in the hole, but you see Craven get in that corner as hard as he possibly could.
1 more lap when they come back around.
No mistakes, Ricky.
White flag is out. Is it going to be Craven with his first win or Jarrett with the sweep at Martinsville? Half a lap to go. Jarrett to the outside. Wow. Bumping, banging into the final corners. No traffic ahead. Craven rides Jarrett up the racetrack. Here they come off the turn. Ricky Craven is a NASCAR and Winston Cup winner. What a finish in Martinsville. And the fight continues for the rest of the lead lap positions. Burton edging Benson. Gordon finishing 9th. Ricky Craven in his 174th start gets his first NASCAR Winston Cup win. A man who was basically out of the sport for about a year and a half after being injured. I'd say his comeback is complete today. Matt?
Not only a comeback for Ricky Craven, a comeback for Mike Beam. Wow, 2 tires. Congratulations. How big is it?
Well, it's good. You know, I want to thank Todd, you know, and Ken Moore and Ford especially. Goodyear brought a great tire, and especially Ricky Craven. You know, he's just a great guy. You know, we've become good friends, and you know, it's our own chassis, you know, and whenever I took 4 and Todd, or when I took 2, Todd and him took 4, I really gambled on it because I've seen the race win here, and you know, and you know, I want to thank Dale Jarrett because he races good. I really appreciate that. And, you know, it's good for all our sponsors. Really good for PPI. You know, everybody back to the shop, thank you so much. And, you know, it's just great. No, I really want to win at Martinsville for 25 years. I've been coming here forever. When I worked for Butch and Lindley, we lost a couple races up here. And so, I don't know if they give you grandfather clock, but I'd like to have one.
They certainly give those out here at Martinsville. His first win here in 25 years, the first in Ricky Rudd's career.
That is the trophy for winning at Martinsville, a grandfather clock. Ricky Craven's got one on order right now. They're going crazy in New England. Newburgh, Maine's Ricky Craven is a NASCAR Winston Cup winner. 174th start. Craven injured badly. Multiple concussions a couple of years ago. Had to spend the better part of a year out of the sport. Year and a half really trying to rebuild his career. When he and Cal Wells, the owner of this Tide Ride, started talking about Craven coming to work for him, Ricky said, "I'll submit to any medical test you want to show you I'm capable of driving this race car." He did it, and Bill, he's done it. Today, he's a winner.
Alan, you're exactly right, and this will be a very emotional victory lane. Ricky Craven has already thanked his crew on the radio, and now will be climbing out of the car for the first time as a winner in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. This guy was damaged goods left on the shelf until he proved that he could come back and drive a race car. Now, Ricky Craven is a Winston Cup winner. His entire crew obviously is here. He's already talked to Mike B.
Give the TV tower.
Ricky,
I know that makes you mad.
congratulations.
Oh, God, the hardest thing is going to be to
talk about it.
Just countless people that I have to thank. And I began racing in 1982. I was 15 years old with the dream of winning a Winston Cup race. And by God, we did it today.
And you beat Dale Jarrett door to door at the Checkers.
And I used him up a little bit, you know. I knew he expected me to. My first win. And I found comfort with Dale Jarrett, my mirror. And I just prayed the last 20 laps that I had the strength to keep going, because we took 2 tires and it was getting away from me. It's the hardest 20 laps I've ever driven in my life, but I want to tell you, I owe everything to this team. First, Cal Wells for giving me the chance to drive this car. Tied, you know, the greatest group in the world I've ever raced for. They deserve to be in victory lane. And I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize my wife, Riley Everett. You know, there were 2 years where we were floating around Moosehead Lake and gave little chance of ever getting back to Winston Cup. And my wife said to me one day, she said, tough times don't last, tough people do. And I found inspiration in that, and I just won a Winston Cup race, man. That's awesome.
How determined were you to do it, Ricky?
I knew when I got this opportunity it was what I needed to get the win and get back on track. And we're so thankful that Larry Hedrick gave me my introduction into Winston Cup racing. And I got the opportunity with Rick Hendrick, and I thank him for that, because I really enjoyed it. And then things didn't go the way I'd hoped. I got beat up, and wow, what a perfect story, though. I mean, the way we were able to get another opportunity, and I've gone full circle, and I truly believe that I should be driving the Tide car. This is my car. This is my sponsor, and I'm perfect for the deal. I'm just so thankful for everybody that stuck with me, and I want to thank God for giving me the strength, because I'm telling you, I really dug down deep, and thank everybody along the way that's helped me. And there's so many people, you know, I couldn't recognize all of them, but just thank you all.
Just say hello to New England, because you know they're celebrating.
Well, you know, in a perfect world, we would have won at New Hampshire, but what a great place for a second win, you know. And the people in New England were the part of the strength that kept me going. And you know, here's the good news. I'm only 35 years old, and 2 years ago that looked old. Right now it's looking pretty young.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Bill.
Ricky Rudd in victory lane at Martinsville. Nice guys can finish first. Marty.
What an amazing finish, Dale Jarrett, beating and banging down to the end. Tell us about the last few laps.
Well, it was exciting, and congratulations, first of all, to Ricky Craven and that entire team. He did a great job out there. Exactly what he was supposed to do. I mean, I had 4 tires, and he only had 2, and I could see his car was really loose up off. And you know, I might have could have pressed the issue down on the bottom. I could tell he was really protecting that, but I would have had to hit him, and I didn't want that to be the way that we either wrecked or I won. I wanted to try to pass him, and tried him on the outside, and he did what he was supposed to do up there in 3. He ran me up high and got me a little bit out of the groove, and that's slick anyway. So he did a fantastic job. That's fun. That's what these the fans that stayed home and watched it. Thank you for the support, and the ones that came out here and either called in on a sick day or took a day of vacation. We appreciate the support.
You raced Ward Burton really hard on the restart. Did that cost you a lot of time?
Well, I couldn't get going at all, and I was trying to keep Ward behind me because I knew my tires would come in soon. So I really had to try to do to keep him back there. So I was having to be a little more careful than I wanted to be. So Ward was doing what he had to do. Just need a little more time.
Good second place finish for Dale Jarrett. Believe it or not, only a second top 5 since his win at New Hampshire in July.
All right, Marty, thanks. What a finish between Craven and Jarrett, and I think Ricky said it all as we look at the leaderboard in victory lane. I just won a Winston Cup race.
That is big. Good job, Ricky Craven.
Good top 5 runs for Ward Burton, Bobby Labonte. A little deeper on down the running order. Rusty Wallace off the pace all day. Dale Earnhardt Jr. had a miserable day. Kevin Harvick, after the penalty, finished 22nd.
Look back to 31 through 40. And Ricky Rudd back in 39th position.
Big hit in the championship today. Tony Stewart, 3rd in points coming in, also out early with engine problems. We're back in a minute. Big hit in points today for Ricky Rudd. He's lost 97 on the afternoon to Jeff Gordon after Jeff finished in 9th and Rudd finished way back in 39th place. A moment ago, Dave Burns spoke with Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon finishes 9th today. Jeff, you pad your point lead on Ricky Rudd because he had troubles, but it didn't look like your car was the best there at the end.
You know, so good early, and we weren't very good on new tires all day, even when we were good at the beginning, but we needed that track position. Once we lost that track position, there was no getting it back just because we really struggled on new tires. We were still real good on the long runs, but I don't know, we lost the handle a little bit, and you get back there, man, it's wild. I tell you what, we fought hard for this finish. You know, it's not what we were hoping for, but, you know, we got to just take what we can get right now, and that's, you know, come out of a short track with a top 10, we'll take it.
Real quick, you took 2 tires early. That was sort of a test. Would you have wanted 2 at the end if you could get them instead of 4?
Well,
you took 2 actually, didn't you?
We did. I kind of wish we would have taken 4 now. You know, we were trying to get that track position back, but we just lost a handle on it there. And, you know, we just couldn't get track position. But, you know, so it didn't really matter. I think, yeah, I would love to take 4, but shoot, 2 it seemed like the best way to go. That's a call that Robbie and the team myself made, and that's the one we're stuck with. But bring home a 9th place finish. We'll take it.
For a points leader, a top 10 is still a very good thing.
Kevin Harvick finishes 22nd, not the finish you'd want. What took place from your point of view, Kevin?
Well, I mean, we're at Martinsville, and there's not a whole lot of room, and we gambled, and we stayed on the bottom of the racetrack and did what we thought was right, and kept it glued to the curb as much as we could, and tried to get good runs up off the corner, and Bobby Hamilton got into us a little bit, and you know, we just kind of returned the favor, and I guess that's not what they wanted to see. So, you know, we'll just live and breathe with their calls, and those kind of calls aren't what fills these grandstands, though.
Isn't that an unwritten rule, though, between drivers?
Yeah, I mean, I've watched, you know, several guys go out there today and spin people out, and I think it might have something to do with the rookie stripe on the back of the car. But, hey, you know, it's their call, and they do what they want to do, and they didn't feel that it was right, but I didn't feel that it was right that Bobby Hamilton knocked us out of the lead the way he did, and I just, you know, an eye for an eye, and that's the way we race.
The guy nicknamed Happy can at least put a smile on the end of what ended up being a very frustrating day.
Well, Matt, for the other side of that story, Bobby Hamilton, what happened in your viewpoint?
I mean, I was running, you know, real close to him, and I wouldn't do anything any different. All of a sudden, his momentum broke, and I accidentally hit him. Hell, I could have hit him 3 laps before that. I hadn't been driving like that all day, and I knew that he had 4 old tires, and we had new tires. I was just sort of biding my time. And I even slowed down, and then it let the 32 get up under me. Then he ran into me down there and spun us around. But, you know, that's Martinsville racing, and yes, NASCAR did see what happened. They seen his momentum slow down, and that's why they done what they did. But the problem you got here is you got a young kid with a lot of talent trying to fill Dale Earnhardt's shoes and thinks he is Dale Earnhardt, and he wouldn't make a scab on Dale Earnhardt's butt right now. He just needs a little more time.
Obviously, tempers pretty hot down here, and they were very disappointed. They might have had the car to win today, Alan.
Well, tell us what you really think, Bobby Hamilton.
Hey, I figured we'd get exactly what he thought.
There you go. Now, a couple of moments ago, Marty spoke with the 3rd place finisher today, Ward Burton.
A 2nd straight 3rd place finish for Ward Burton, and looks like you knew you had to get DJ on the restart if you were going to pass him.
That's the only way I was going to pass him. He was a little bit better than I was in the long run, but tell you what, really proud of the Cat team. I know everybody says that, but from the spring race here to the fall race, my team has made so much progress. The motor combination is so much better. The aero package better. Tommy and Tracy and the guys have gotten the Goodyear tires figured out more. Just a lot of progress in 4 or 5 months there.
And a solid finish for these guys. His only second top 10 here at Martinsville.
All right, Marty, thank you. Ward Burton finishing third behind Ricky Craven and Dale Jarrett, who put on a thrilling finish for the fans here.
The NASCAR Old Dominion 500, presented by Stacker 2 from Martinsville, is brought to you by 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. Just dial down the center. 1-800-CALL-ATT. By the United States Army, an army of one. By Pfizer, where life is our life's work. And by the Home Depot, the official home improvement warehouse of NASCAR.
Our Pepsi race recap was a great race. 14 leaders, 19 lead changes, but they saved the best for last. The white flag was out. Ricky Craven on 2 tires, Dale Jarrett on 4. And they went at it side by side for the final half mile here in Martinsville, with Craven getting his first NASCAR Winston Cup Series win. What a thriller. Next week, it's on to Talladega for Benny Parsons, Wally Dallenbach, Bill Weber, and our entire NASCAR on TNT crew. Alan Bestwick. See ya.